Thomas Show. Sirius 108 and XM 139. This is the Jay Thomas Show. The interesting, the odd, and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
I gotta tell you, I couldn't be more excited that if I were like unclothed and surrounded by naked women right now. That's how excited I am to be here. Excited. Madison is here with her big, giant stomach bulging with life.
Yeah, giant. I'm the smallest pregnant woman you've ever seen.
There's a human being inside of you right now.
Yep.
And
she's 6.6 pounds.
Every time, that's tiny.
I still have about a little bit less than a month. She could be 8 pounds, they're telling me.
Oh, okay. 8's all right. 8's all right.
She's all legs.
Wow, 8 pounds. Now, think about that. Something 8 pounds is going to come out of you.
I know. I'm going to try to fight against that.
When you go to the bathroom,
I'm going to starve from now on, so she comes out 5 pounds.
A huge bowel movement.
Thank you.
I read this recently. I mean, a really big bowel movement would be about 8 ounces. Oh. 8 ounces.
Half a pound?
Half a pound.
Wait, how do you know this?
I read constantly. I read constantly.
I do too.
And it was in one of these men's magazines, you know, like men's, what a journal. They ask, he goes, when people say they've had some, huge BM, what would be huge?
That's good. I'm going to write that down.
And the guy said not the only way that it's ever been, obviously measured was in a hospital.
1.5 pound. Well, Shuli measured poo that one time, remember?
Yeah, how much? What was the weight of those?
He measured
what was the
high-pitched Eric's poop. And
did it come in at a pound? More than a pound?
I think it was like pounds.
Oh, get out of here.
Because he did it for like a whole day.
Oh,
He did a whole day of measuring and weighing. We should get him on the phone and find out.
We should find, but I think the average, if it's big and you're on the pot and you flush it and everything else, it's I
don't let it sit. It goes.
No, I understand. But to think that you're about to let something out of you that's 8 pounds.
No, it's not 8 yet.
Well, it will be. Even that it's 7 pounds. That's just unbelievable.
I know.
Garrett, if we were
I got
threatened,
a little tight 16-year-old girl's vagina.
Let's just say that we were threatened.
Okay.
And someone said, "All right, Garrett, I'm going to sleep with you. I'm going to make mad passionate love with you, and then in about 9 months, you are going to release out of your rear end, which is the only hole we got down there, something that's 7 pounds. Would you continue having the sex?"
I won't even have sex knowing the girl has to do that.
I see. You see, you won't even if she's going to do it for you. All right. 888-4-102-102. Kenny of Pennsylvania. Hi, Kenny. Jay Thomas here. Madison is
like you called him up on the phone.
Hey,
Hi,
Kenny.
It's Jay Thomas.
Kenny, my car's in front of your house. Can you move it? It's Jay Thomas. Christina is here. Give her a microphone. Let's let Christina be a part of the show. Garrett Andrus is running the thing, and of course, you, the listener. That's right. You, the listener. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Jay, since your show ran over yesterday afternoon, I was wondering how bad did Chuck Liddell ream your ass?
Oh, so this Chuck Liddell guy who lives apparently about 45 minutes from where I live. Thank you, Kenny, for bringing that up.
In the rich part of town?
No, he lives in a whole nother town. But he was raised in Santa Barbara where there are no tough people. I mean, even there's very few gang members. And so he didn't show up on time. And so I called him out on the air.
Good.
And it actually Garrett, do we have that interview from?
Yeah, I left it. I forgot it upstairs, but we have it.
So it didn't air.
Hold it 1 second.
You weren't on there.
Kenny, of course, as you know what I did, as soon as I could diffuse it, I said it was, funny.
Yeah, you became pussified.
Yes, I did.
You got afraid?
Well, I do. He does live kind of close to my house, and I did. And then I asked him about his. We'll run. Did you keep the tape running?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it. Just I forgot upstairs.
So we'll Kenny, we didn't know anybody would want it, so we'll have Chuck Liddell, the famous MMA UFC fighter. Okay.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it, Jay.
All right, thank you. There's Kenny, my pal. Before we go another step further, I know everyone's talked about it. I have to ask Madison her opinion.
Larry King gets divorced?
Unbelievable.
I was going to say, I've had my eye on him for years. I'm psyched.
I mean, it's number 7. He married one twice.
It's number 8 then, right?
Yeah, but the accusation is that he slept with her sister. And the women are really attractive.
Yes.
She's 50 years old. The sister's 46 or whatever. And they are not unattractive. And they're like 6'2" or something. And then you see his picture. Now, I've been in his company.
There's something going on in those pants, Jay.
Now, I saw he and his family at dinner a couple of years ago. Then I've been on his show. I've done stuff. He looks like some sort of like a
Skeletor.
No, like a worm of some sort. He's in that James Carville area. Not human-like. I mean, literally, his face, the lips, everything, the body, not human at all. And so the attraction, and this woman, 13 years was with him. And she now.
What happened to the groceries? You were raped, but what happened to the groceries?
You got to run it again. The interview when the woman is viciously raped. And she was buying groceries for her son her husband or boyfriend, whatever. So we'll play it in a moment. Here's what I think happened. Larry was supposed to die a long time ago. And he has lived and lived and lived. He looks ill, doesn't he?
Yes.
Looks like he has...
The suspenders are holding up his body.
It looks like his insides are being held by the suspenders. That his gallbladder... his liver, his kidneys, everything. And the suspenders are holding, like in Vietnam, they use super glue. The guys would get their guts blown out, they'd put them all back in and they'd super glue them. And then they'd use staples to hold God love them.
That's what the suspenders are for.
That's exactly what it is. It's the same, except those were young men who could heal and life. I have a couple of friends who were actually hit by missiles and crap, and their insides are held together by staples and by bands.
How old is Larry? He's not quite 80.
77.
All right, that's not that old.
77.
That's not that old, Jay.
But listen, how old is your dad?
83.
Okay.
He's in great health, though.
Think 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And let's say your mother had been his first wife. She'd be long gone. He would be on number 7.
Vey.
And how tall is your dad?
About 5'11".
He's a pretty tall guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's got a 6'1" model that he's married to. And you're the daughter. Because Larry has kids that are 50 years old, right? He does. He has 50-something-year-old children. I could be one of Larry's kids. I mean, finally, I found somebody older than me.
He's got little boys and then old kids.
And old kids, right. It's unbelievable. The first wife is so old, she's somewhere going, hey, like that. But when he takes his clothes off, it's got to be just horrible. I mean... Did
you enjoy his company? Was he fun, nice?
No, he talks like that. He's in a bad mood all the time.
People laugh? Is that what it is?
No, and he knew Frank Sinatra, and he knew, he's one of those guys. It's almost like we had, when we have Kevin on, and Kevin only can, relate to like Gregory Hines, right. Would be the most modern person he talks about, right? And he's one of those. Well, and Frank was there.
And then he uses, as I said, he had Chelsea Handler on a couple weeks ago, and he kept using the word midget, which you really don't use it's not really PC. I mean, we all use it, but on TV, do people use the word midget?
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. The word retard was used twice in Ira's company, and I'm not kidding.
No.
I don't want that.
Who said that?
First
of all, that word is terrible.
I think Cheech said it once, and I believe.
Oh no, Bobby Slayton.
Yeah, he said it too, and I had to tell both of them we don't do that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that.
And I got some emails too threatening Bobby Slayton. Threatening his life.
Good.
But you know what? I'm not going to tell him because it'd be kind of funny if he got killed. Because then I go, oh my God, he was so alive.
Your friend Lindsay Lohan has used that word.
I want somebody that I just saw 10 minutes ago die, and I go, they were just alive. They were so alive.
Until he used the word retarded.
They were so alive. Well, I guess he died the way he wanted to go. Killed by a rabid fan, Adam, Maine, Jay Thomas Show. How are you? We have got.
Off the topic, Jay.
What's that? What topic were we on? Oh, Larry King. If you were a tall, beautiful model, Now listen to this. And you met Larry King. Now he's very wealthy. Would you marry Larry King?
I'm a guy, dude.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I asked the wrong person.
If you could marry him.
If you could marry him. If you were a beautiful model.
Is it Tiger Woods' wife's money? Or?
Yeah, well, it's going to be big money like that because the truth is that
Fuck that tall head nigga. No, this is off the subject.
Did you hear that?
That is the question I was asking.
Adam,
Get rid of him.
the Patriot Channel is not 108 or yeah, I'm sorry, but
It's serious.
we don't do that word
he's
here.
out of here.
We
Gone.
don't do that word.
You were done.
Bye-bye.
We're finished. It can only be used in a sentence when I'm explaining something.
No, that word should be
That's out of here.
used at all.
That's right. And I used the C word a few moments ago off the air, and I want
11 minutes in
I wanna-
already. Retard, the N word, midget.
Can we still use the faggot word?
You shined.
Rob, Orlando.
That day, Jay, you
Hello,
shined.
Rob of Orlando. Yes, Larry King's seventh wife. And by the way, he gave. Now listen to this.
Does he really think he's going to have a shot with somebody else?
The sister's in love with him.
Come on.
He gave the sister over the years at least $1 million worth of stuff and bought her a $160,000 car. I don't know if anybody talked about that today or not, but when I saw those numbers, I thought my sister-in-law is very attractive, and I don't even like her to sleep over. You know, and I don't give them anything. I spent $400 on their engagement dinner at Mickey Mantle's, and that pissed me off. Okay, so if I were lavishing my own sister-in-law with stuff, and you were married to me, that's strange, don't you think?
Yes.
And she said how sweet he was and how wonderful he was, and many people think that he may rush right to her arms.
He has got to have something going on in those pants, Jay.
There's his
It's
picture.
got to be like
There's his picture.
12 inches.
No, just look.
Got to be huge.
No, I don't believe it. It's the money or the power.
money.
And here's what's sad. I'm sure guys go for money and power, but it's always a gay guy. Elizabeth Taylor is marrying for the 9th
No,
time.
she's not. That's a rumor I heard.
No, I
I
love
heard a
of her
rumor
life.
that was a rumor.
Love of her life. And it's always some fruit that they're marrying. I mean, it cannot be. Look at him. Look at his picture.
I don't know. He's not looking so bad.
Oh, he does. Rob, yes, sir. Go ahead.
I used to listen to Neil Rogers down in Miami
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
remember
we know
him.
who he is. Is he still alive?
I don't think, well, he's alive in Toronto. I don't think he does
He's
radio.
gay, right?
Yeah, he's gay.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
definitely gay.
Fine announcer.
Not that matters.
He's a fine announcer.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing
He,
at all. Nothing
he
at all.
used to-
Just because you've allowed a penis in your mouth and the man's
in your butt.
in your rear end,
Swishing around.
swishing around in your rear end and in your mouth, is nothing wrong with it at all.
Nothing.
He used to talk about being buddies with Larry King when Larry King was just getting started.
Yeah.
And Larry King used to always tell a story about how him and Sandy Koufax were the best of buddies and used to pal around all the time. And Sandy Koufax, a reporter asked Sandy Koufax if he'd ever, how he was with his friendship with Larry King, and Sandy Koufax said he'd never even met him.
So he lied. Well, he's a big baseball fan.
So wait, who's
Yeah,
the
big
liar?
baseball.
Larry King?
Larry King and Sandy Koufax was the famous Jewish pitcher.
So he's delusional.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, I wonder if Larry King. We got to go back to his high school or something. What was he considered?
High school? Did they have high school?
I don't. It was in a covered wagon. I don't know if they had
With
high
a
school.
slate.
Yeah,
They drew
it was
on.
a single room
both ways.
where there either. You know what I like? There was either a kid that was 7 all the way up to like 19
Little House
in
on
the
the
in the
Prairie,
room.
yeah.
Here's the thing: I wonder if he was considered a ladies' man as a kid. If he was, girls liked him in high school. I mean, maybe we're wrong about him. Maybe he has, but
Maybe he was handsome 50 years ago.
So let's say he's been on radio and television at least 30 years, right? I never remember looking at Larry King and thinking he looks exactly the same, right? So he's looked like some sort of a rodent or some sort of a worm of some sort, something. What's that, Rob, what's that thing under the sea that comes out, that eel? What's that eel that grabs you?
Oh, I don't know.
That moray eel. He looks like a moray.
moray eel.
He looks like a moray eel.
I think he looks a little more Neanderthalish. He's
Call
very-
us at 888-4-102-102.
Skinny.
Tell us what sort of animal Larry King looks like. And you could win. You could be the listener of the day. You could be the listener of the day. All right, he was not friends with Sandy Koufax. Thank you, Rob, very much.
Thank you.
Let's go to Kirk of Utah. Yes, Kirk, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you, Kirk?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. I was just saying that on the Me and Vinny show, I thought this morning, they were saying that his wife was having an affair with the baseball coach.
The Little League baseball coach?
Oh, yeah, remember when his wife was having an affair, allegedly, like on the desk or something?
I just heard them talking. I mean, I just thought, man, what a great family.
You mean the Little League baseball coach?
That's what I.
That
that's
was
what I thought
coaching
they were talking.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, she is so good looking that if I were in her company, I would think that she'd be an easy mark.
Well, she's got to get it somewhere, so I guess, I can't say that. I guess she is getting it from Larry.
Here's what these folks do. They have these houses, like David Letterman has a 100-acre home in Connecticut, some giant mansion. But then he has some $20 million apartment here in town, right?
Sure.
And so they stay in town. Is Larry in L.A. or is he here? He's in New York, right?
He's in L.A.
Okay. They moved to L.A. for his wife's singing career. Ugh. Can you imagine? Ugh. We got to find something that she sang.
Does she even?
No.
I know something she sang.
What?
She done a duet with Willie Nelson. And in fact, that one's going to be interesting because Larry King's got an interview with Willie Nelson tomorrow, and that's going to have to be slightly uncomfortable. But yeah,
well, I don't.
With Willie Nelson.
Willie will be so stoned he won't even know where he is. But the weird thing is when, and I'm no longer a member of the Friars Club, but I was. All of these old guys marry these younger women, and what's weird is they're young women, but they think old thoughts. Like his wife, she would marry Larry King unless you're 14. You're not going to have a singing career anytime soon. Yeah. All right. Is this Willie Nelson? What's her name? Sean
King. The song's called I Swear.
I give.
Okay, let's listen.
She's amazing.
Wow.
Thanks, guys. I got to go.
All right. See you later, Kurt.
She's pretty.
Without a doubt. Like something that you
She's very good.
About.
She's very good.
You're someone I can't live without.
He needs some lessons.
I give this promise to you now.
That's
forever and ever.
Is that her voice?
I give
I apologize.
my soul.
Are they in the same room when they're singing?
Cheesy. I don't know.
Turn it up.
It's
Turn
very
it up.
awkward.
It's very good.
And bad. As long as we have.
What do you think, Christina? She's pretty good, isn't she? Yeah, all right. I apologize. God, you never hear
so
that.
she's good. Big
All right,
deal.
so she's good. All right, so what?
Who
We're
cares?
wrong about that. All right. Would you sleep with, who would you sleep with, Willie Nelson or Larry King?
Oh, dear.
If you had the chance. If you were with them,
okay.
And, you're on the bus with both of them, you've been on the bus with them.
Probably Willie, because I'd be so stoned.
Yeah, you like Willie.
Yes.
Willie.
Willie.
Even though he's old with
Hell
the
yeah.
beard and the whole...
Moonshine.
It would be Willie.
Guitar.
Don't you think Willie's beard smells like tobacco?
Well, probably.
Don't you
And it
think?
probably smells like
He might smell really
dirty
good.
vagina.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Willie could smell really nice.
Willie might have a vagina.
I feel like he smells like dirty vagina.
No,
patchouli.
he doesn't.
Smells like dirty
Doesn't
vagina.
smell like vagina.
Don't say things to try and look. This
When
is
I see beard, that's the thing that comes to my mind that I think of. I'm
Really?
not saying it to shock anybody.
I don't
Really?
like beards either.
I'm just saying. when I
men do
see
not
a
let juice
full
get in their
beard,
vagina. I mean, in their beard.
Beards are
I
gross.
can't help
Men
it.
don't
They're
let
gross.
juice get in their vagina, I said. Let's go to Lisa of Louisiana. What does Larry King look like? What sort of animal or unusual thing does Larry King look like, Lisa?
It's just so obvious. He's a crypt keeper.
He does look like the Crypt Keeper.
That's it.
Do we have the Crypt Keeper
That's
from...
it.
God, I never did that show, and I used to want to do it. What's it? What was?
from the Crypt.
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. Remember that show?
That's him.
Yeah. Here we go. Larry King. Comes Larry.
I never watched this show.
Oh, it's scary as hell.
It was so hot. It was like always half-naked girls and
I never-
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, I always wanted to be on it.
I like that one that what's sorry.
Comes Larry King. There's Larry. It's a long opening.
Here's Larry.
It's like the Addams Family. Here we go. his condo. Well, is this really the opening?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Well, they must have written the show really short, and they didn't have, they needed to fill time.
They're showing nothing.
It's nothing.
Here he comes.
Here we
No, maybe not. Jesus.
They must be letting you light your bowl, or get a beer or whatever. I don't know. Where's the announcer? Here it is. Okay.
Oh,
Larry.
that's totally Larry.
All right. Talked right over the guy's voice. It's a waste of time. Is it Gene from New York?
Yes.
Gene, how are you?
Oh, God,
Howard, let's go to Gene. Let's go to Gene on line 6, please. Hello, Gene. How are you?
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Larry King or Willie Nelson? That's the first question.
First of all, Larry King, and I really like the Crypt Keeper. That was a good one.
That was good. What do you think Larry looks like?
Larry looks like a ferret.
He looks like a ferret. He does.
The nose.
Yes.
Eyes. It's this entire ferret thing going on.
Ferrets always look like they're about to attack, even though people say, "Oh no,
Exactly.
it's really cute." Larry looks like a big tongue could come out of that mouth.
Haven't you been on Larry's show before?
Quite a bit, quite a few
and you
times.
enjoy him, right?
No, he's not listening to you. He's not listening.
You're right. No, he doesn't listen. You're absolutely right. He just talks over his guests.
He's not listening. And I think
Definitely.
that he's probably been, waiting for the clock to run out for 20 years, and it just doesn't. Finally his ratings are terrible. They're also saying that Ryan Seacrest is going to replace him. Did you know that?
I did not.
That's supposedly his anointed
either.
replacement. It's really weird.
Ryan's good.
Thank you, Gene, very much. Now, Ryan, here's what's great now. Young comics and announcers don't get married anymore. There's not like guys marrying 7 people anymore. That's really another generation. Mel Gibson just broke up.
Yes, I see
He broke
that.
up with the Russian.
5-month-old baby. They couldn't work that out.
No, and he was, and she was with Timothy Dalton for 15 years
She's
before
a kid
that.
with him tim
And she married him
Starfucker.
to get her a music career going. Hey, hon. Das Vidania, Larry King's on the loose. Helm of California. Yes, Helm, how are you?
How you doing, Jay?
Good, thank you.
Hey, Larry King messes up my Deadpool every year, by the way.
He messes. You choose him to die every year.
He's not going anywhere. Take him off the list.
Yeah.
I know he's going to be 150. Hey, I got a question about New Orleans, Jay. I go there sometimes because of my job.
Yeah.
And how can you understand what those, you've heard those Creole people talk, and they blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How, do you understand what they're saying, Jay?
Since I was raised there, I can. But what it is, it's a mixture of French and English and imagine a really dumb French person. They're always bragging how it's French. But it's like a homeless American guy who's dumb.
Like hillbilly French, huh?
Yeah, it's like hillbilly French. That's what it is. And they're so
that's scary.
I know French people that have come to Louisiana and cannot understand the French that the people from Louisiana speak. And I know that for a fact. So it's very difficult to understand. It's Frenchlish. Frenchlish.
Those people will steal your clothes and you won't know it for a block.
They will steal everything. There's no doubt. I don't leave. You know what's weird? When I take my wallet out, even at my brother's house, I hide. I'm not joking. I hide the money even at my brother's house.
Well, yeah, you can't trust your brother.
But there's people coming in and out all the time too. There's hey, you got red beans? And you go, where the red beans at? Yeah, that's right. And everybody has the same accent. White people, black people, everybody has the same accent. So it's always funny to hear them hate. It's always funny to hear from South Louisiana a white person hate a black person because they go, "I don't want them black come around my house no more. I'm a man. I'm an African one. I don't want them come around no more." And then they have the professor from Tulane. "I don't know why you don't want African Americans." I mean, there is a theory, that everybody wants somebody below them. And it's like these teabaggers that are here in New York now. They're bigots also. But they want to make sure that there's somebody below them.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to make sure there's no money for welfare or anything because, if by some accident it should work, then a lot of folks that they don't think much of would be their equal. Now, a guy like me, lots of people will always be below me, Helm, so I never have to worry about it.
Didn't God think of us as all equal?
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. And Jesus was black as Ace of Spades. Did you know that? Completely
he
black.
wasn't.
I have a picture of him at the house. Completely
Come
black.
on.
There you go, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go to Mike of Dallas. Yes, Mike, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Larry King. What does Larry King look like to you?
I would just suggest that he looks like a lizard.
Yes.
And I think when he takes his glasses off, his eyeballs move separately.
They're being held up by his suspenders.
No, a lizard's eyes, they're in this kind of rotating socket. So
Yeah,
a lizard can look one way and the other. Yeah, they can do that.
He's not that old, though, in the grand scheme of things.
He's almost 80 years old.
But in this day and age...
What? That's old.
Look at Carl Reiner.
Yeah, he's old.
He's 88.
What? He's old.
Look at Betty White.
It's old. Have you seen Al Pacino? He's playing Dr. Jack.
I can't wait.
Kevorkian, but they showed pictures of Al, and Al is in his 70s, and he's looking...
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Have you seen Treme?
Yeah, I'm not interested in it.
Really?
Not at all. It's
Are
you know what it
impressed
is?
that I know how to pronounce that?
Yes, I am. It is a show on
Oh, you
HBO.
would love that.
It is about a section of New Orleans, and it's jazz, and it's these guys that did The Wire, and they're there, and they're doing it, and it's like, why didn't they go to my neighborhood? The houses are all destroyed there, and why does it always have to be like, some jazz guy and some,
Well, isn't jazz very big in New Orleans?
not on a daily basis. It's what you go there, but you think you wake up in the morning, you hear like a trombone in the distance?
Yes.
It's down in some little section, but people keep thinking, well, you go to New Orleans and you have to go into the French Quarter and walk by a club and hear jazz. I woke up and I heard, birds would sing and stuff, right? And you get up and you go to work, and there's so much more to New Orleans than what they make the movies about, right? Remember, how often do you go to Times Square?
Oh,
Thank you.
I try to avoid it.
So
but,
do we. We
yeah.
don't go to Bourbon Street. Nothing but scum down there.
All right.
So it's.
But it probably wouldn't be interesting to make a show, what you're talking about, though, about our normal neighborhood.
Let me tell you what the show really ought to be. That Hurricane Katrina was one of the best things that ever happened.
Here we go.
To New Orleans. That New Orleans was about to become Detroit, and New Orleans has groups of individuals that are drug dealers, gang members, whatever, and a large portion of them, unfortunately, are African Americans, and they're killing each other at an alarming rate. And the city needed to become more equal in that the white people were the minority, and the minority needed to come up and be equal. And that's happened now. We have an equal amount of whites and blacks on the city council. We have a white mayor and a black district attorney. That's what needed.
And an Indian governor.
All exactly right. It needed to get equal.
Okay.
And all whites were no good, and all blacks were no good. All right. I'd love them to do a show where. I'm sorry. We don't want the scumbags that were too dumb to run away from the hurricane to come back.
I agree.
Watch this. It's a Category 5. It's going to kill everyone. And you go, you know what? I'm not leaving. I'm sorry. I don't even want you to reproduce if you're that stupid. And I mean whites, and some of my relatives didn't want to leave. Whites, and you don't want, we have so many stupid people now. Just go on the internet. You don't want them to reproduce. You just don't. That's our biggest problem.
But they do.
That's why reality shows are so big. We need to, when they're doing your DNA on your child, test the IQ of that kid.
Okay.
And if the IQ is not right, doctors ought to just pretend they accidentally poked the kid
Should
in the
I
head.
put her on a plane to Russia?
Absolutely. Get rid of her.
By herself?
Bobby of Kentucky, what does Larry King look like to you? What sort of animal or serpent or...
I think he looks like a big goat.
He looks like a big goat.
He doesn't.
You know why? It's the thin lips. And a goat, and you know what?
He doesn't look like a goat at
He's
all.
expressionless. He doesn't, yeah. And a goat goes like this. Nah, nah.
Yeah, it's the suspenders is what it is.
But they don't
Turns
have...
on all the chicks.
He's got dead eyes, too. Nah.
Right. He has to have his suspenders to pull up over his big cock, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Now, Bobby, you're just hunting and pecking now for a joke. But you know what? It's the expressionlessness of, he doesn't have any expression.
You don't think he's got a
No.
big meat in the pants?
No.
Really?
God forbid.
You don't know
He's got to.
He's
hello.
80-something
What-
years
What
old.
does that mean? Does your penis shrink?
Yes.
What
It's all
about
wrinkly.
Milton
No.
Berle?
They said when Larry King gets a hard on, his face doesn't have any wrinkles.
All the blood.
I don't get it, but I like
all
it.
the blood rushes there. Thank you, Bobby. Very good. Rich, California, the Jay Thomas Show. Larry King, wife number 7. She's definitely leaving him. She has said that her sister is sleeping with Larry King. Yes.
Disgraceful.
Yes.
Jay, it's Vince from California.
Yes. How are you?
Good. Hey, remember, I know why Larry King looks like that. Remember back in the 80s when he used to smoke on CNN?
Yes.
It's all the smoking just wrinkles his skin up. I mean, him and Dick Clark must have freaking sex stories up the ass.
The picture I'm looking at now, I'm going to show you
No,
something.
Dick Clark never strayed.
I'm going to show you something.
No,
I want you to hold it 1 second. He's had a little work, which is okay with me. You can have all the work you want, but I want you to look.
Who has?
Larry King has had some work. It's fun.
Work?
You know, on his face. Look at the chicken neck, right? Okay, now I'm going to put my finger over his face. Does that not look like a shaved vagina?
That is
Look,
that is disgusting.
The turkey neck.
Wait, show me again.
Look,
go in and
that looks like, get rid of his face and look at just the crease down.
Kind of does.
It does. Look at the crease
Kind of
down
does.
the middle. It looks like a shaved vagina.
Disgusted.
Tonight when you're watching Larry King,
disgusted.
look at his turkey meat under his
Do you
neck.
think he'll make mention?
No.
His ex-wife is so hot.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God, how does he pull that?
By the way, he's had 2 or 3 really good-looking wives because these women, and I'm telling you, it's this Friars Club kind of a deal. There's these young women that are like they like being with older guys. It's a daddy thing. I don't know what, but
It's the
there's a lot of
money.
them.
Let's
And the
face
money, and the
it.
money. How about the bald-headed guy that owns Revlon?
Oh, Perlman?
He's he looks like a somebody's ass that's gotten shaved.
He was with Ellen Barton.
But with lots of gorgeous women.
Yeah. What about Harvey Weinstein? Oh.
Does he have a lot of wives?
Oh, he's got a young gal. I think she's much younger, and they're having a baby.
You know, I was just in New Orleans with a big fat rich guy, and gorgeous girlfriend. But at least he was funny to talk to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? At least like me, as I age, I could probably have a young girlfriend
You
at home,
could.
huh? Because at least I'm funny to talk to.
You're funny. You look nice.
Well,
you
I'm
look all
clean.
right. You look
I'm
all right.
clean.
Yeah. You dress nicely.
Would you be embarrassed to introduce me as your boyfriend, even though I'm much older than you? What would you say? This is my boyfriend. What would you?
I'd call you my boyfriend.
What would you do? This is my mentor. Jimbo, Pennsylvania.
This is my mentor.
Jimbo, Pennsylvania. Yes, Jimbo. How are you? Line 4. Jim. Yes, sir.
Bashing bandwagon here.
Yeah.
I think that Larry King, he looks like a cadaver that someone dragged down to the mall to get made up for one of them glamour shots. That's what it looks like.
He does have the cadaver look. He does.
But I will tell you something. For a couple $1 million, I'll put a blonde wig on and play with that old schwanz 5 days a week. As long as I could get weekends off, my man. Hey,
You would play with his schlong as long as you had weekends off. That's my favorite line of the
right,
day.
I would. Hey, that's all I got, brother. Have a good day.
Thank you. The Inquirer reported that Sean Southwick had an affair with her son's baseball coach just 2 years ago, a claim she denied, but they did not sue the Inquirer. So
She probably did.
yeah, I have no idea. Did not. Now, Larry's major concern is the welfare of his children.
Which ones?
I don't know which ones. They have dueling paperwork. They have a Beverly Hills mansion. What else? Oh, they met 3 days before he had surgery to clear a blocked blood vessel. In 1997, he met her right before he had a stent put in his heart. You know good and well she figured he was going to croak. Mike of Nebraska. Yes, sir. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon. I've always thought he looked like when Danny DeVito played the Penguin in Batman. That's what Larry King looks like.
The Penguin in Batman? I don't see it.
No.
Sounds like it.
I don't see it. Right. All right. Kind of ruined it for us.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks. Let's go to Donnie of Detroit. Yes, Donnie, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
King, I'm tired of fucking Harry King.
Really?
He looks like a heavy bag. Fuck Harry King.
He looks like a heavy bag to you? All right. I guess that's the end of what does Larry King look like.
That's enough.
Hey, by the way, there was as you know, this report of this, what was it, the Bling Gang? What would they call them? They went and they would break into Orlando, the Bling Ring. They broke into Orlando Bloom's home, allegedly. They broke into Lindsay Lohan's home, allegedly. Paris Hilton and everyone else. And they have a television show called Wild Girls. Now, I thought that one of them had been arrested while they were being filmed. But Chelsea Handler, I think, produces the show. Did you know that? Her company produces it.
Okay.
And this is what's good about the show. They're just wild. They're just nasty. And they're not pretending to be anything but
just wild and nasty.
But nasty.
They're kids.
That's right. They're nasty, nasty little. Look how nasty they are. Can you look at the nasty pictures I have?
I'm looking.
Yeah, they're nasty. Hey, look at this, Garrett.
I'm looking.
They're nasty. Look how nasty they are.
Jay, they're way underage, so stop.
Which little nasty one are we having on, Garrett? Which one?
Tess.
Ooh, that's a nasty name, isn't it?
She's 19.
Guess what? Pretty Wild is unscripted. You're kidding. Yes?
Gandhi is Tessa's inspiration.
Oh, we're going to come back and read all the inspiration, everything they love.
Passion for change.
They're apparently worth watching because they're young, hot, and their mother is a former model who lets them go to parties in France. I want to tell you something.
Jesus.
Huh? I want to tell you something. Can you imagine you're in a studio and you're sitting there, what do you got for us? Well, they're young, they're hot, and their mother's a former model, and they go to parties in France.
It's a show.
My God, it's a show. Are they nasty? They're really. Finally, let's go to Shane at 888-410-212. Hey, Shane, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, Jay?
Good, thank you.
And first off, I love all your shows. You, Madison, Ira, you guys are all great.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I was wondering, does I have someone mentally challenged in his family? Is that what the sensitive thing is?
Say it again. What's that? Is he breaking up? What did he say?
Yeah, I didn't like what he was saying.
He was saying something about the word retard?
I don't know.
He wants to know why you're sensitive to the word. If
well, I'll tell you. You know what's funny? No, I'll tell you something.
Retard is not a nice word.
Wait a second. I want you to look up the derivation of retard. Retard was the word.
Slow.
No, retard. That's right. But retard was the word that was made up. Not made up, but brought up in the 1950s or 60s because people were insulted by the term fucking nuts or screwed up or what would be another one beside
Waterhead?
Yes, but
but what's more insulting than the word retard?
No, but retard was the word that was made.
Retard's a real word that means slower or held
I know.
back.
Yes, that's
Why
right.
What's so wrong with calling people that?
It's just
what they are.
Nasty.
I had chemotherapy.
Okay, you can say somebody is mentally retarded, but to be like, oh, you're a retard.
Hold on a minute.
Just because,
Hold on a minute.
It's just not, I don't like it.
If someone says they had chemotherapy and when the doctors looked at the tumor, the therapy had retarded the tumor's growth.
That's
means
beautiful.
That sure is. It means to slow it down. So when I say it, I'm not talking about somebody mentally slow.
Yeah, but somebody like Lindsay Lohan or people just walking. No, you're so
I know
retarded,"
it's like
Yeah, but they're not calling retards retard. They're calling normal people retards.
We'll use a different word.
people that listen to our show
Save that show for the really
that have
retarded.
children.
I hate when people tell you what words you
Wait
can
a
and can't
second.
say.
We have people
It's so
that
annoying.
listen who have slow children and they listen in the car and they've called up and said, look, it makes my child feel badly. I'm not going to have it used in front of Ira. I'm not going to do
They
it.
should get tough skin because if I call Madison a retard, I don't mean she's a developmental.
You're not going to use that. That's, first of all,
I
it's a
personally
stupid
don't
word.
Like it. I don't like it.
Why don't you start saying, hey,
Moron.
slap me 5? Why don't you go back to that? I mean, it's first of all, it's a
You still
cliche.
Call people retard. Like, oh my God, that's so
I
retarded.
personally don't like it.
Moron.
Call me a retard. Call me a moron.
We can use morons.
You can use moronic.
Yes.
You know what? He's a bit moronic.
Go ahead
Yes.
and use that.
All right. You know what? I'm sorry you had to hear this. These inside battles. The Jay Thomas Show with Madison, Garrett Andrews.
Garrett the retard.
No. And Christina. And, of course, you, the moronic listeners. Tiger Woods' wife is not going back to him. And here's what's really nuts about this whole deal. She doesn't have to take him back because this weekend when she wanted to get away, she left the kids with a nanny. You mean she left them with herself? She left them with a nanny, and then she got on a private jet that was waiting for her after she was taken by the security guards and the limo guy.
Good.
And she flew wherever her dad or mother lives who's ill.
No, it said in People magazine her mom is not ill.
It says in today's paper that her mother is ill.
In My People magazine, it says she's not.
Well, and she has been humiliated by the stupid commercial that ran where he's looking at the camera, and it's the father of his father's voice who's dead, and she's absolutely correct. And she said he couldn't wait to get back to the play golf, so he said whatever he had to say, and absolutely, there's no upside for her to stay because he's boring.
Yeah.
She's got the two little,
it's done.
And the kids have every nationality in them that you'd ever need.
Beautiful.
You would actually just give kids money to your own children, and you will have given to 4 countries. So that's it. And her dating life is going to be unbelievable after
beautiful.
This. She's gorgeous, and she'll go back. She'll probably marry an older Swedish man.
I'll show you some pictures. People magazine.
She's gorgeous. So that's it. She's done, and of course, Bruce Springsteen's wife has filed for divorce.
You love her. Oh, they have?
Oh yeah, that's over.
I didn't know that. I thought he denied the affair.
No, the woman said in court, under oath, that Bruce Springsteen came up to me and said, "You have a nice ass."
Does anybody stay together?
Well, what's odd is if you're Bruce Springsteen and you're at a gym in New Jersey, you don't go to somebody and you go, "You have a nice ass."
No, you don't.
It's the oddest thing I've ever heard. And, now his wife has a nice ass and a terrible face. So,
you don't like her. We know that story.
I don't.
You should tell that story again for all the new people.
When the kids were going to this little school, there was a birthday party, and some people were invited to their home for a birthday party, and the woman got the date wrong. This story? Woman got the date wrong.
Yeah, I love that.
Rang the doorbell and said, "Hi, I'm here for whatever it is, Springsteen's birthday." And the wife goes, "It's next Saturday, stupid!" and hung up.
You told that in front of your wife, and your wife got really mad at you.
Next Saturday, stupid!
Because you made fun of the way she looked, and your wife was like, "That's not nice."
She looks like Ellen Barkin, like somebody hit her with a baseball bat.
Ellen Barkin's prettier.
Can't be.
You don't think?
My brother's prettier than Ellen Barkin. He's missing a tooth.
Oh.
I've been in Ellen Barkin's company. She's got that great body, and it really does look like somebody beat her within an inch of her life. With all the incredible surgery, they can't fix the nose when it's smashed. I don't quite get it. This Elin, I tell you what.
Beautiful.
God,
just beautiful.
Good God. And look at the sunglasses.
Show me a hot blonde. Show me a guy who's screwed it up. Show me a hot blonde. Show me a guy who's tired of fucking her.
That's not the thing.
Oh, what is it?
I'll tell you in a minute, but that's not it.
It's not it?
You're such an idiot.
Tell me what it is.
I'm going to do it in a minute.
All right.
And then Phil Mickelson's wife.
Looks just like her.
But dresses like her.
Yeah.
Look, Phil Mickelson could play the rest of his life, and no one will think of him like they think of Tiger Woods. And the same thing with the wife, with Elin Woods. This woman.
Nordegren.
God, I love her. Love her. I just love to meet her and hold her. I don't know how much I love her.
Just
love to meet her, hold her. Also, Mel Gibson and his Russian wife. They're done. I mean, everybody. It's just unbelievable. It's absolutely nuts. Rick Schwartz, who is a doctor, listens to the show all the time. I know you stay at the Parker Meridian Hotel, as I do. Are you a Starwood's preferred customer? Yes, I am. And I get an upgrade. And I stay at the Sheraton, of course, in New Orleans on Canal Street. Are you staying at the Parker Meridian now? So he asked me a question. I'm going to answer it right here. No, I'm not. I decided to stay someplace else because I had an argument with somebody there, and now they're charging me full price.
You've been pushed out of a few hotels.
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. What about the dude that jumped from the top floor of the Parker Meridian a few days ago and splattered right in front of the hotel as the L.A. Angels baseball team was coming out to go to the game? Did you hear about this?
No. I heard
the
about
guy
the jump.
Jumped off the roof and is splayed all over the front of the Parker Meridian at like 56th Street. You know what was weird about that, Rick? One of the Angels brought his glove with him, and when the guy was falling, he tried to catch it with his glove.
Oh, like those little kids
He tried
at
to catch it with his glove. That's right.
Dad, let's go to the baseball game. I'll bring my mitt.
The weird thing about jumping, killing yourself is one thing. Putting a gun in your head and the bullet goes, through your head and you're dead. You know what they say now? That actually lighting the barbecue pit in your home is the easiest way to go.
Oh.
Some idiot family. The dad brought the barbecue pit in to keep him warm, lit it, and they found him all dead the next day.
Oh.
And the paramedics said they looked totally normal. There was no
So
vomiting.
it's kind of like carbon monoxide
It's
poisoning.
not
I would like
kinda
to
like
go
it
that
is.
way.
Well,
I would like to go that way.
that's,
painless, right?
What's
Painless?
the guy from was it from Kansas or Boston? Guy from Boston did it.
Oh, Brad Delp?
Yeah, that's how he died. And he was replaced by a guy from Home Depot, and of course he'd bought the barbecue pit at Home Depot. Yeah, that's why he did it. So Rick, no, I'm not staying there this time. But what I don't get is you've got to be sorry you jumped. You're going to hit the concrete.
Oh.
You're going to
But
hit
your
the
neck
pavement.
breaks halfway down, right?
No, they say who knows?
Yeah, you're right. They need to do a test.
You throw a chicken off first, see what happens.
Letterman always throws pumpkins.
I have a picture of Larry King with
again
the
with
sister.
the Larry King.
She is gorgeous, the sister.
Let me see.
Jesus. Randy,
Oh,
Michigan.
my God.
She's fabulous.
She's not 50.
Randy, Michigan. How are you, Randy?
It's Brady, but how you doing?
It's Brady.
Larry looks great in this
What's the matter
picture.
with you? What are you, deaf?
Look at this nice shirt Larry's wearing.
Larry looks fabulous,
nice
doesn't
jeans.
he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good God Almighty. He has a. What animal does Larry King's body look like? There we are for that one. Yeah, go ahead, Brady. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell Madison, show me the hottest woman in the world, and I'll show you a guy that's tired of fucking her.
That's exactly right.
That's not how it was told.
That
to
is
me,
how it
but
went.
All right, thank you.
And I'll tell you where it came from, and this is the truth. The Yankees were sitting in a bar, and a gorgeous woman is at the end of the bar, and Mickey Mantle was there with Billy Martin, and all the guys were whooping and hollering, and Billy Martin turned to Mickey Mantle and said, somewhere, somebody's tired of screwing that. All right? It's the Jay Thomas Show with Madison.
I gotta pee.
Wow. In a few moments, we'll have one of the Wild Girls on it's running now on E, and they're what I like about the show is they're supposed to be wild. It'd be great if one of them ODs before the end of the first season. That's what I'm hoping, or dies in a club fire
Before the first episode
in
maybe.
Paris. Yes,
like that show Megan Wants a Millionaire, never even aired.
Did somebody die?
Yeah, this contestant murdered his ex-wife.
God, why did they put that on the air? Huh? Jay Thomas hosts I Want to Kill My Spouse. So they're showing all the teabaggers on CNN right now. I guess that's in here. Is that happening in New York, the rally, or is that in Washington? I don't know what you're rallying against. And then there was a survey done today. Oh, that's in Atlanta. They're all over the country. That most of them collect Social Security. They will get Medicare, they will get Medicaid, and some are on unemployment. Those are the largest pieces of the pie, and they want us to keep building the bombs and the missiles and the whole thing. First of all, they're all white, 99% white, and I pay more taxes than they've ever seen in my life, and a lot of them live off of what I pay, right, with Social Security, and they say, we pay into it, so that's it. But they're idiots. They're anti-American. They're all wrapped in American flags. I mean,
they just don't want to pay taxes. Is that what it is?
They don't want to pay taxes, and they don't like
pay taxes.
They don't like health care, and yet they don't even know what it is. Right? Can you turn this woman up? Can you let me just And they like Sarah Palin, who sounds like a soccer mom stuck in traffic. I mean,
she's
There are some people. Christy Todd Whitman, the former governor, and I guess she was the environmental chief under George Bush, and she quit, and made a statement saying that George Bush in that administration wasn't interested in the environment at all, and she wasn't going to lie. And by the way, I've met her, and she's not the nicest person. She is a
this is Christy Todd?
Yeah, she's a entitled, wealthy woman from a long line of politicians.
Okay.
But I would have voted for her for president of the United States as a Republican. Okay. She's smart.
Howard liked her a lot too, remember?
Absolutely. She's terrific, And there are lots of women in government who know about government, who are lots. Sarah Palin, I don't know.
I don't even like her
was
that
a cheerleader in high school in shithole, Alaska.
I don't think she's dumb like everybody says. I do not. A lot of people, Bill Maher, who's a douche, she's dumb. No, she's not dumb. She became the governor. She's not dumb.
But you know something?
But
she was
that
only in
voice,
for 10 months.
that
and
voice.
Even my brother.
No, more than that.
Even
More
my
than 10
brother.
months.
No, she was in for what?
No, it was more than 10 months.
I don't think it was a year.
It was more than a year.
Really?
It was like a year and a half.
First of all, the teabaggers, 70% of them are over 50 years old. And so what they are, and they're, by the way, college educated.
Oh, look at that.
You're looking at it, right. 80% are Republican, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're seeing all this. But the thing is that they want to collect their Social Security. They want to get their Medicare and Medicaid and everything else. And they don't realize that at the base, and this is true, it is expanding at an alarming rate. And there are more people. And if you don't educate poor people, then we're in tremendous trouble. Do you think I like walking down the street and seeing these dumb kids and they're shooting each other and the parents are no damn good and everything else? Well, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to wrap themselves in an American flag and pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They don't know how to do it. I'm one of these. I believe that you ought to put the parents in jail. These kids shoot each other. They're 16 years old. They got to have a parent somewhere. Even if the parent hasn't seen the kid in a year, they ought to put the parent in jail because these kids always want to save their mama. You attack their mama, and you're going to get the kid. Of course, Ann Coulter's speaking with that giant Adam's apple of hers. By the way, has she ever dated anybody? Ever had a relationship?
I don't know. What's her status?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What's her deal?
But
this guy's a real creep, too.
I wish I could fly over the teabaggers and drop flesh-colored tea bags on them that say, suck these, I mean, look.
I don't understand what the
I'll
whole
say
thing
it
is
again.
about. I don't understand.
They don't know what it's about either. They're just, they think that there's and they have signs, show us your birth certificate. That's the other one that
What
they're
is
doing.
their purpose?
Their purpose is that they say that the president is a communist or a socialist.
Oh, for God's
and
sake.
that he is stealing all of their money to give it to the poor people who should have gotten their own insurance or got a job or whatever, and too bad.
So it really has nothing to do with tea at all.
Well, it comes from the
I
Tea
know,
Party when the
Tea Party.
Americans
You're
threw it over because the British were charging them too much for
I believe in
taxes for
people
tea.
getting their own insurance. I do.
Look, with this bad economy, so many people have lost their insurance, and so they're going to need what's coming. Here's something else. The economy is
But
not good.
I
Wait a minute. The
don't want
economy.
to have to pay for a woman and her 9 kids because she got knocked up. I don't want to pay for her insurance.
But if you take that idea, that is a percentage of the people, but that is not all of them. That just isn't. It is not.
I think companies should be responsible.
But that woman doesn't work for a company. So
Who does she work for?
Nobody.
Well, she should get a job.
And white or black or whatever. Well, she
Instead
can't.
of her
Well,
WIC
now you can't.
Instead of using her WIC check to get her nails did.
Okay, hold on a minute. So you don't give her any money, all right? You don't help the kids who, by the way, came here,
She shouldn't have gotten knocked up.
Yeah, but it's not the kids' fault, is it?
No.
Okay.
We'll help the kids. I will help the kids. I will not
Well,
help
the mothers, you got to live with the mother. You see, it's a problem. Now, you can educate
people
them.
Listen, I am all about personal responsibility. I got myself knocked up, so I'm taking responsibility.
Right. I got it.
That's it.
But if you got in trouble, you might have to turn to the government.
The government?
Yeah, you might have to get unemployment if you lost your job.
All right.
If Sirius
I see
closed.
both sides. Okay.
All right. And if your child was starving, you would go get food stamps.
Children are taken care of, Jay.
They are not. Not
Yes,
in all.
they
Not in
are.
all cases.
Look at the kids in Sudan. Look at the kids over
Kids in
there.
Sudan?
They're really poor. The kids here, they have their PSPs. Oh, yeah, they're poor. Look at the people in New Orleans with their fancy sneakers and their big TVs, but they're all poor. Give me a break.
So you think that they go in? I don't disagree with that. You go in.
Haiti is poor. That's where they need help.
Well, we're giving $1 billion to Haiti this
Nah,
year.
we haven't given $1 billion.
See, I think the troops.
I'm very torn about
I
it
think
all.
the troops ought to land in Detroit. The troops ought to land in New Orleans. They ought to land in South Central Los Angeles. They ought to. I mean, they keep saying,
But people need to take responsibility for their children and for their families and stop relying on the government.
I absolutely.
Because once you rely on the government, it turns into a socialist society like over in, and we're paying 90, how many taxes do they pay in Europe? In Sweden? Oh, it's a great country. But do you know how much they pay in taxes?
Yeah, but everything's taken care of.
A lot.
But when you were in Sweden, everything's taken care of.
You're not giving good choice. People come here for medical care. They come to the States.
Not from Sweden, they don't.
I don't know.
Now, here's the thing.
Elon did.
It's exactly right. She came and she got the big 6-inch welfare, baby.
She got a nice injection.
She got a fabulous injection. No, I didn't say that it wasn't difficult. I'm just saying that yelling about it and being a white person screaming about it on TV.
No, these people are idiots.
You know what interests me about Barack Obama? He said, "Why don't you let it happen first before you get mad?"
He's absolutely right. I agree.
It's almost like when you're talking to your kids and they're already way ahead of you. It's bad. I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. We're not doing. And that's the big. When George Bush said, "Let's go to war," 90% of the Democrats voted to go to war to give him the power to attack somebody that might have attacked us. Right or wrong? Now, I thought they shouldn't have done that, but they said, "Look, you got to give the guy the ability to." So he did it. I think that's the same thing with the healthcare thing.
Give it a chance. I
Exactly.
agree with you. I
and
agree.
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, first of all, it's now so watered down, it isn't even the thing they're rioting against. That's the other funny part of it. By the way, the head.
So these people don't even know what the plan is, but they're rioting anyway.
Here is the funniest thing that's happened to the Republican Party. They have this black guy that's the head of their convention.
Michael Steele, right?
He was hugging Al Sharpton yesterday at some event. And I want to tell you right now, Al Sharpton is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't fire this black guy because they put him in there just to show that they had some blacks in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. And now they're stuck with him. Good. He's a complete idiot and you should fire him. He's a waste of time. He's an embarrassment to the Republican Party and they cannot fire him. That's the funniest part of the whole deal. They can't fire him. They can't, because they will have fired him because to them, he was acting black by hugging another black guy. Al Sharpton, no Democrat, nobody should be in the room with Al Sharpton.
Nobody should be hugging him.
Nobody should be hugging Al Sharpton and getting some Jerry curl on their shirt. Ken of Florida, would you hug Al Sharpton? I wouldn't.
Ann Coulter.
Yeah,
Ann Coulter used to date Bill Maher.
What?
Come on.
Yes. Ann Coulter likes funny guys. She dates comedians.
What?
One time Bill Maher and Ann Coulter went out. This is
But
true.
did they have a date or just had dinner or what happened?
Well, they went out for a while. Now,
Come on, like they slept together?
I wasn't in the bedroom, but that's and Bill Maher admitted it too. She's attracted to very funny guys.
Yeah, but was he attracted to her? Did
But
they
he's
have like
super liberal.
Did they have a good relationship?
That I don't know. Went on for several months. And when she was younger, Ann Coulter was attractive. She's
Now,
not
Bill Maher is a total snake. I mean, he's a strip show. I mean, I've been on the road with Bill. We flew around the country and did shows together for Johnny Walker. And this is the story that I love about Bill Maher. He kept calling somebody from his cell phone. So we're flying from L.A. to San Francisco. We do the show. He keeps calling, and he hangs up. He goes, "I can't believe this. I told this woman to meet me in San Francisco. I've been calling. I sent her a plane ticket, everything. I don't hear back from her." So we take a couple of months off. We get back together, and I go, "Hey, last time we were together, and he showed me a picture of her. She was like Eurasian looking, good looking woman." I said, "Hey, remember that woman that he goes, oh yeah, she'd been killed in a car wreck." That's what he said to me. But he said, and I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah," and I sent her like a $500 ticket and everything. I swear to God, he did not show any remorse.
Oh, what a creep!
So it was kind of like I'm flying this piece of ass in, and she has the misfortune to die in a car wreck, and he was still pissed off by it.
That's pretty funny, though.
That's the truth. Yes.
Jay, you ever think that you badmouth everybody you ever work with? You ever think that might hurt your career?
Hurt it more than it's already hurt? You mean my career that's on an aluminum walker as it is? No.
Well, I mean, everyone you work with, you badmouth. Maybe that's.
Well, you know what? That's what with Bill Maher, badmouths people too. If Bill wants to dispute it, he can. It happened. That's all. That's all. I usually say things when I know they're working. So what I did today was I know that Bill's in a writing meeting at about 4:00 every day Eastern time. I only do stuff, and then if
He's
they
not listening.
If someone calls me and says, "Hey," Tim Allen did hear us one day, and I was saying something about, you're right. Oh, yes, he did.
He listens?
He listens to Sirius XM. He's got it all over. He's a big electronic guy.
He's fantastic.
He is. But he said something. He goes, "Hey, what was that all about?" I said, "Oh, you know me. I'm telling a little joke. Ha, ha, ha."
You've always said nice things about him.
Well, I said something. I made a joke about something or other about,
I don't like him.
about the masseuse he was marrying or something like that. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Ken.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Martin,
So
Washington, D.C. Yes, Martin, how are you?
How's it going, Jay?
Good.
Well, I heard you say something earlier about the Democrats voting to give Bush
The war.
power to go to war.
Yeah, the power to go to war.
The only problem with that statement is it wasn't Bush who got the authority to go to war. It was Clinton. It was an act that was passed, a decree passed in 1998 called the 1998 Iraqi Liberation Act.
That's fine, but the vote came up again when George Bush wanted to attack Afghanistan after 9/11.
Well, yeah, that was just a reaffirmation of the 1998.
But the Democrats could have voted it down, which I think they should have, but they were frightened to do it for fear. They were absolutely frightened to do it.
It wasn't fear. As a matter of fact, the memo was leaked and it was quickly squelched by what's that guy's name? Clinton's Terry McAuliffe.
Right.
It was squelched by Terry McAuliffe. It literally said we're going to go along with them now because this is the way that the country's going.
Right.
But in the future, we're going to leave enough plausible deniability so that we can use this politically.
Once they didn't find the weapons of mass destruction and he started sending the troops, because of that vote, they could not stop him. Now,
and that's actually a myth, the not finding weapons of mass destruction.
Really?
There's a scientist in Iraq who wrote a book called The Nuclear Reactor in My Backyard.
Where is it?
Well, they found the sarin gas, and they found the delivery vehicles to deliver the.
Well,
sarin gas.
what were the vehicles? Were they trucks?
Well, no, they were missiles. They were
Really? How far could they go?
I think they said enough to get to Israel, but they were not.
That's not the United States, though, is it?
No, not at all.
And we cannot vote to save people from a foreign country. We're only doing it to save American lives. And so that's up to Israel to stop missiles that come their way, right?
Well, technically, that's not necessarily accurate.
You know who has the most weapons of mass destruction?
Oh, well, yeah, we do, of course.
Yeah, I think that we are in absolute. I think we should stop every single one of them. And here's another one. If you're a sovereign country, you should be able to have whatever you want to have. So if Iran wants to have nuclear weapons, it is none of our business. None at all.
I don't know about none of our business.
It is none of our business.
I don't think that we should be so cavalier about.
Really? Wait a minute. Wait a second. You want to have a certain car? Should an Iranian tell you not to have it?
No, absolutely not.
Well, then you're not allowed to tell an Iranian he can't have what he wants.
But we're talking about Iraq.
So what?
Well, you have to remember.
Those are sovereign countries. We should not be there. We're in 110 countries. China does not have one soldier on foreign soil. Not one.
But Iraq wasn't a sovereign country at that point. After the first Gulf War, they gave up their sovereignty.
We were asked to leave after we deposed the dictator. Why didn't we leave?
We were asked to leave by the UN after they signed the accord.
Whatever. We were asked to leave. It's up to them. It's their country. In Vietnam, it was a civil war. They wanted China and the United States out. I mean, hey, I don't know if you read the paper today, but we had to pull out of what they call Death Valley in Afghanistan because we were getting our asses kicked. And we're going to get our asses kicked in Iraq, and we've gotten our asses kicked in Afghanistan. And so we lose every war we get into since the Second World War. We lose every war. We are the Clippers. We're the L.A. Clippers of war.
Yeah, but
we won the Gulf War.
I was just thinking that. Did we win that one? Yeah.
We won the Gulf. Okay, all
that
right.
Was like a little
but you know what? The Clippers have been.
War.
The Clippers went to the playoffs about 10 years ago, didn't they? Yeah. We are the L.A. Clippers of war. We have this huge, all this money and everything else. And we have different coaches all the time, and we get the first round draft pick, and we can't win a damn thing. We are bad at war, okay? We are really bad at it.
We won the war on drugs, too.
Well, yeah, there's the war on drugs. That's no good either. Yeah. So we're the Clippers, and we're the Detroit Pistons. Are the Pistons any good? No. They were pretty good.
What about the Nets?
The Nets, no, we're the Nets are bad. You know what? Any team that's kind of on the outskirts of the main town is never any good. So
yeah, no, we're more like the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, we're like the Browns.
Jesus.
All right, Martin. Thank you very much.
Team.
Thank you. Let's go to Cliff of New Orleans. Yes, Cliff, how are you? The Jay Thomas Show. Coming up, nasty girls, nasty, from a show called Wild, Pretty Wild on E. And one of the girls was arrested in this bling ring, stealing stuff from which I think is great, by the way.
Yeah.
Stealing from Orlando Bloom and all of that. Yes, go ahead.
How are they they not in jail?
Well, they're under indictment. Yes, Cliff, go ahead. You're in America, my
They have
darling.
a show.
By the way, there it is, the thing that cracks the eggs. There it is, the Easy Cracker. It's on TV right now. Oh my God! Look! Oh look! The egg went all over the kitchen, not with the Easy Cracker. Turn it up, Garrett. One second, Cliff. Oh, turn it up. Where's the Easy Cracker?
Look at her. Look at her
She's
face.
eating. Oh, she got an eggshell in her mouth because she didn't use the Easy Cracker.
Boiled eggs can take forever.
My favorite
but
thing.
With one simple squeeze,
Yeah.
peeling hard-boiled eggs has never been easier.
Let's listen.
Separating eggs
Yes.
are a hassle.
Yes.
The Easy Cracker has a special egg separator.
Oh, my
attachment,
God.
too. Just place egg in the cradle and squeeze to divide the yolk from the white instantly.
Yes.
Fresh meringues for pies or low-fat egg white
meringue.
omelets
Fresh
with cheese.
I'm going to make fresh meringue tonight.
Just crack away with Easy Cracker.
Crack
Now
away.
you can order the amazing
Wait, listen,
Easy Cracker
listen.
with egg separator for only 2 easy payments of just $10. But wait. Call now and we'll also send you Easy Scrambler. This
Easy-
automatic scrambler mixes the yolk right in the eggshell, so it actually comes out of the shell scrambled.
All
It
right, there you
changes.
go. That's my
stupid.
That's my favorite machine. Cliff of New Orleans.
Wait a minute. Who
What?
doesn't have $20?
That's what I was gonna say. 2 easy
payments of $10.
You don't have $20?
All right.
have $20.
Hey, Cliff, sorry to break into your phone call, but my favorite commercial came on. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Cliff.
I can't blame you.
Hey, man, did you watch Treme on HBO? Because a lot of, I'm having trouble because I'd like to be on the show.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, so I'm not saying a lot about it, but I have had newspaper people and I've had the TV guide call me and all, and I'm having to dance around my comment.
Well, there we
Did you
go.
watch it, Cliff?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you think about it?
Well, like most David Chase shows, it was just an introduction. So,
But that's not David Chase. That's Simon. That's
sorry, Simon.
so. But didn't you think? I mean, why doesn't it have people who live on the lakefront and the big houses in it?
That's not the story.
like me and my family. Why don't they have? I mean, we're New Orleanians. I don't get it.
Because it'd be called Lakeview if it was.
Lakeview. Why isn't it about Lakeview or East
Why don't
Lake
you
Shore?
make that show?
About the wealthy in New Orleans that are glad all the poor people got washed away. That would be the name of the show.
Make that show.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison could star in it based on her comment earlier.
Well, watch this. You
Oh,
walk out
no.
on your porch and they go,
Yeah, I want to know.
Daddy, how bad was the storm? The storm was terrible, but look, there are no poor people out there anymore, so maybe the storm was a
No,
good
I'm going to
thing.
be in trouble. I can
Go
tell
ahead,
you.
Cliff.
What
What's
did
your
I
problem
say?
with Madison?
What did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, because we all now have fucking big screens and fancy high tops. Did you come down here and sling a hammer? Did you pick up a shovel?
That's
what did
right.
you do down here, Madison? What did you do? Have you been here since the storm?
No, she was just talking about poor people
I
in
wasn't
general.
talking about people.
She
of
was not
New
talking
Orleans.
about New Orleans.
She run it back. She said the people in New Orleans.
Okay,
She
run it
didn't
back.
say-
Hold on a minute. Run it back. Hold on a sec. Run it back. Run it back. Oh, okay, go. Run. Hit the button.
And the poor people of New Orleans with their.
No, there you go. You said it. All right, that's it. You're right, Cliff.
We're back live.
We're back live now.
She didn't do anything. She spent her time in private girls' schools.
That's
She's
right.
sticking her nose up at people who fucking have
You're absolutely
Got nothing.
right.
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
You're
now,
right.
Cliff, she's apologized to you. We've
No,
run
sorry.
the. We've,
I'm sorry.
We've run
No,
the.
fuck you. You're driving
Fuck
up.
you.
Hey, now
you
wait
piece
a
of
minute.
shit.
Hey.
You C word.
You know what? I'm just glad I didn't say that to me. Hey. All
I have
right.
a good friend who lived in Algiers, and he said, "Come on, people, let's go." And
Let's
we're just
go.
going to sit here and play with our Xboxes and get our nails did. So there.
So there you go. All right, Cliff. Thank you.
I'm sure she went to private school.
It's a
too.
he, and
yeah,
no, he did
I went
not.
to private school too, Cliff.
It was a he, and no, he did not.
I went to private school.
He was
Oh,
poor.
you went to Jesuit, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You went to Jesuit? Yeah, you know how you had to be a ferry to fly up there.
That's right. To get in, you had to fly around the block 3 times to get in.
That's right.
All right, I'm
That's
done
right.
with
Get
you.
rid of him. He called me the C word.
Horrible, you. And his name is Cliff. Let's go to, it's a C word. Let's go to Jeff Furlot. Jeff, where are you reporting from today? Jeff Furlot, where are you reporting?
Jeff Furlot reporting live from Jefferson Parish, New Orleans. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, hello.
Gentlemen.
Jay, no one is above the law, especially Steven Seagal,
Oh,
who's
sex
under
slave.
investigation
I heard about
Sex
this.
slave.
I heard about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
of sexual abuse of 2 Russian women who he allegedly kept as sex slaves.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, the women could not be reached for comment because Steven put them on a plane and sent them back to Russia with a note.
Good one.
I had a chance to speak to Mr. Seagal and asked him what would he do if he was sent to jail, and he said he would use a CIA training and turn a bar of soap into C4, blow up the prison, kill all the guards, and get the girl in the end. With this report from Jefferson Parish, New Orleans, back to you guys in the studio.
That's Jeff Furlot, the Gumbo Radio Network. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Brett, you're in Maine, and now you're on the Jay Thomas Show with Madison. Hello, Brett.
Good afternoon. Hey, I thought it would make great radio to tell Madison what you said about her when she wasn't there.
No,
I think I
can't.
heard it.
No, what did I say?
Last Friday morning?
What did I say?
I said, Jay, how do you feel about Madison having a baby and blah, blah, blah? And you said, I feel sorry for the child.
Well,
I do too.
I saw her husband in the hall here, and I pulled him aside, and I said, "You poor bastard."
I know, he told me.
And I stand by that.
I stand by it,
and I
too.
mean this. I would like you
I'm
to
difficult.
surprise. Well, you know what, though? I'd like you to surprise everyone and not be difficult.
Okay.
He's a nice guy.
He's wonderful.
He gave you what you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay? He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
You're about to have this child. Don't be like yourself anymore.
Okay.
All right, Brett, I think we handle it. Thank you.
See you, bud.
Thank you. Hey, I do want to go over a news that we have. We had a guy jump off the hotel here the other day, and at the same time, yeah, that's right. There he is. That's him.
If only.
He fell right onto a relief pitcher from. Why did he fall on Matsui, that Japanese guy that left the Yankees? They were hugging him. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was a teammate of theirs for 7 years.
Yeah, but he screwed him and went to the Angels. He's not a teammate.
He didn't screw him. They didn't sign him. He signed for more money, and
they would have signed him.
He's getting older.
Yeah, they didn't want him.
There's this artist, like that idiot that used to put up the flags or whatever it was, and he put people, it's statues of people, and I think there's a penis and everything on the statue. And so he put them on ledges all over town. They're like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
So the cops get called out after a guy jumps off of a building, and I think it's cost the police department thousands of dollars to respond to people saying that they saw someone about to jump off of a building.
This is better than the Mary made out of poo-poo.
Yeah, that's the last thing he did. He made a mayor.
It's the same. No, it's not the same artist.
Why would they let, him put people on a friggin' ledge?
How do you get away with it?
The art council or whatever let his ass do it.
No, that's terrible. That's don't you think that's bad taste?
It's ridiculous. They got to take it all down. A paramedic from overseas was watching the Yankees. When John Stone of Montville, Connecticut, was watching the Yankees, he spotted Toby Weiss, a woman, gagging 15 rows in front of him. He ran down, and she was choking on a hot dog, on a what do you call it, a Yankee dog? Did you read this one?
How about just a hot dog?
And they were trying to get the hot dog out of her, and they were handing her to different people, and they could not do the Heimlich maneuver properly.
I did it to you once in this studio.
So after 4 or 5 people, she's turning blue.
Oh, no.
They were afraid to really, put their fist in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he does it, and the big, disgusting hot dog flies out of her mouth.
Right.
Do you know that she just sat down in her seat and continued watching the game?
What else are you going to do?
Well, you know what? After a life...
You think she'll go home?
Yes! Go home. And they moved them down to those $1,200 seats that they can't sell anyway. That's what I like.
They didn't move her?
No, they didn't move her.
I fainted at Pearl Jam once. I didn't get any special treatment.
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder?
No Eddie Vedder. I was in the front row. I fainted before they even got on stage, and I had to move way to the back.
This big fat woman reporter from a local TV station called New York One, Adele Samarco, laughed, cried, and raged as she was saying that she was harassed by the staff there. And she called it sexual harassment, but it's because she has a big, huge ass. And so it wasn't that they wanted to have sex with her. They made fun of, she's got one of those big, those big giant asses, and you go, where do they buy clothes?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And they called her BBT, which meant big butt booty, and they would videotape stuff. Finally the judge said to her,
your ass really is big.
She told her parents from the witness stand, she went like this: Mom and Dad, I'm going to say some stuff I don't want you to hear. The judge starts hitting the gavel going, don't you talk to the people. Yeah. And when you see a picture of her, it's like...
Let me see.
Well, no, that's her face. There's a picture of her. Oh, here it is. Look how big her ass is. See how big her ass is right there?
Oh, I've seen bigger.
It's big, though. It's a big ass booty. But no one wanted to screw her.
Guys like that.
No. They just made fun. So she is suing them for making fun of her ass. Now, is that sexual harassment? I guess it is, right?
You can't make fun of a coworker's ass.
You cannot.
No.
Really?
No. Maybe in this establishment where
no place else?
You can get away with it here.
That's it? Can't do it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to like be attacked by somebody. You don't have to be touched or anything, or
you could say that's a nice dress you have on today.
Yeah. Really?
And if they take it wrong, that's sexual harassment.
Even do a transvestite if they came in with a very nice dress.
You can't say anything to anybody.
No, really.
Jay, if you were in a normal workplace, oh my God, the fact that you made me bend down and pick up my bottle cap today, that was sexual harassment.
No, it wasn't. You dropped the bottle cap. You said, "I'm pregnant. I can't pick it up." So I moved it with my toe closer. And I said, my back hurts. You pick it up. Nothing wrong with that.
But under your breath, you said...
Nothing.
You big booty bitch.
Rock Hill, South Carolina, Jeffrey Culp told the cops he was in an argument with Tony Smith over Tony's loud music. Tony went inside, got his 4-foot python out, and began to strangle Jeffrey Culp. He strangled him with a python as a weapon. No, it isn't. No, he put it around his neck and pulled both ends of the python.
Why didn't you just let it do its thing?
No, because the guy wouldn't hold still. So he got the python, and I guess he figured once he started the strangling, the python would, help him, So he went inside and got a python. And "Don't you touch me with that!" Oh, like that, yeah.
Did he hide the body in the snake?
No, he didn't kill the guy. He didn't kill the guy. Courtney Love is angry at reports that she has handpicked Robert Pattinson to play Kurt Cobain.
Pattinson, get it right.
Pattinson. I think they picked him because he already looks dead. So at the end of the movie, he's so dead looking, that kid.
Very
he's
cute.
He's not cute.
I think
he
he's
looks
cute.
like he has no blood. Has no blood at all.
No, he's cute.
John and Kate would pretend that it was Christmas morning, like in July, and have their kids come downstairs so that reality show would get there, even because they weren't going to shoot at Christmas. So they did the Christmas. Oh yes. So they did the Christmas special in July, and many people are saying, and I guess her relatives are saying that is a cruel and unusual treatment to the children.
Oh,
well, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. The presents would be there, the tree would be there, and everything else.
Yeah.
And they would just do it for the cameras because they didn't want to shoot in December. I agree with that one. You mean to tell me when you have this little baby and she's like 7 or 8 years old, you're going to go, "Hey, it's Christmas," and they come down. You don't think that's not confusing and can screw those kids up?
A little.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, those are terrible people. And, she is always on some TV show.
I like her.
For what reason? What is she known for? What is she famous for? Having a vagina the size of a 52-inch television?
You're right, but
She's got a giant vagina that kids plop out of.
I liked the show. I did like the show. What do you want from me?
How can you like a show?
I thought the kids were so cute. I thought she's a good mom.
Jesus.
When I was recovering from my chin surgery, I watched it. Those kids are so cute.
No, they're not. Half of them have lazy eyes.
No,
they do.
They're adorable. That's terrible.
They have lazy eyes.
Half of them do.
No, they're so cute. No,
but is it his sperm?
They're adorable.
Did they use
He's an asshole.
He's not.
Oh my God, she's the asshole.
She's an idiot.
She's just as big of an asshole.
You know what? You like bitchy. No, you know what? You like bitchy women.
When you have a husband, when you're like, "John, can you tie their shoes?" and he's like,
All husbands.
Probably because that's the 95th time in the last 10 minutes she said to do it.
I agree with you partly because she was nasty to him on camera, yes. But at the same time, when you have 8 kids, you got to be on a tight schedule.
Well, I don't think he wanted to have.
No, she's not.
You know what I think?
She needs to provide for those kids right now. I think
I
she's a great
tell
mother.
You, I
if you
think,
watch the shows,
so get a job.
So go on Dancing with the Stars and practice dancing for hours.
I think she's a great mother. I watched a lot of those shows.
Except for Buzz Aldrin, if everyone on Dancing with the Stars disappeared,
I wouldn't care
off the face of the earth.
Terrible.
Who would care?
Chad Ochocinco.
You'd like him to come back.
He's my favorite.
Pam Anderson's nice.
All right, and finally, here in New York, they have divorce parties now for people that are divorced, getting divorced, or they want to hear about divorce. You go to the party, okay? And at the party, they talk about alimony and settlements and everything else. And when you're there, they have a psychic, they have a divorce attorney, a makeup artist, and a matchmaker. And one woman went, who's not even married, to see what it was like, you know, and she says, I don't want to get married now. So the party is for women to talk to other women about divorce, and they all sound like they sound like they're part of the problem. Men would never, ever in a million years go to a meeting of divorced men and with a psychic and a.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, that's a girly thing.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
How is divorce? What's it like?
You know, I think the first year is very bad. I think the first year is bad, right? Christina's the freshest one, but even though you hated the person, you kind of miss them. It's kind of weird.
It's hard, right?
Leaving is hard. Leaving your thing. You know what I hated the most? I don't like giving up money and stuff.
I was just going to say it had to have something to do with money.
You know, and by the way, Ann Coulter's on TV now. That's an Adam's apple.
Oh, she doesn't look good.
That's an Adam's apple. Even though you wanted to get divorced, Christina, were you saddened by the divorce?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, there was a lot went into it, so it's sad to see it go. But
and did he have to pay you anything?
Eventually, yeah, but originally I wanted nothing.
And then your lawyer talked you out of that foolish idea.
No, he got some bad legal advice, and then my lawyer said, "Well, if he's going to play like this, then you have to protect yourself." So that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But originally I wanted nothing.
Are you guys friends?
Well, we're.
Has he tried to? Has he called you at 3 a.m. crying?
No, but he's in contact with me a whole bunch.
Oy.
And you don't want him to be in
Not
contact?
at all.
Oh, my God. And he's missing that over here, boy. Hey, Madison.
Missing them titties.
Madison.
What?
Somewhere, somebody's missing that. Somebody's missing that. He's missing that, huh? Does he say he'll be different if you let him come back?
Well, no, it's not like that. He just finds
I would
reasons
beg you to come back to me.
Thank you. He just finds reasons to call me, like as if, we need to discuss something or something businessy or whatever. But I'm in my divorce statements, it's all stated that I don't have to have anything having to do with anything.
Why don't you change your phone number?
Because then you lose out on all the other people that you have to give their number. It's a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
When you see it's him, do you not answer?
A lot of times. He's started to just text me now because I don't pick up the phone.
Why don't you text back? Please don't ever contact me
because I want to
again.
keep it civil just because I'm not a bitch.
Keep it civil?
Yeah.
You're divorced.
I know, but I'm not a bitch.
Yeah,
I just fell out of love with
It's
him
not
and he
being a
wasn't
bitch.
supportive.
It's being like, don't call me anymore.
Well, right. And, there was a point where we were fighting constantly, but now we're all, because my lawyer was a winner.
All right.
She,
Well, stay where you are. The new show, Pretty Wild, is on E! And we'll have Tess, one of the wild girls, next.
Tessie is the royal root rally cry. Tessie.
We actually found a song with Tess in it. Tess, Terry Arlington, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. My friend Madison is here. How are you, Tess?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations. They're saying that this Pretty Wild on E! Sunday nights, that you're going to give these Kardashians a run for their money. We couldn't be happier. We think the Kardashians are going to all get very fat and hairy.
We wish.
And you do not look like you're going to be ever fat and hairy. So congratulations.
I'm really hoping.
You don't think so?
That never happens.
How old are you, Tess? Can I ask you how old you are?
I am 21.
Okay. We're all wondering. All of us would like, in fact, my friend Madison here is got paperwork in front of her about a reality show. She's about to have a baby.
Should I do it?
Yeah, and they want to bring the cameras to her home and all of that. And she, of course, applied for it. How did you and your sisters get on this Pretty Wild show?
We were actually working on a movie set, and my
You're an
sister,
actress. You're an actress.
I am.
Right.
And my sister had a love scene with this man named Dan Levy, and he just so happened to work for a production company that produces reality television shows. So we were kind of in the right place at the right time and got really, really lucky.
He's an actor, reality show producer?
Yes, he's actually on the round table of Chelsea Handler almost every week.
And Chelsea is the one of the producers of your show.
She's the EP on the show.
Now, you're supposed to be pretty wild. So if I turn it on and you gotta, you got to continue to be wild. Now, will you get drunk? Will you screw a lot of guys? I mean, wild is a term that means she's wild. I mean, drugs. I mean, what's your definition of wild?
What is my definition of wild?
Yeah, mine is like what I just said. What is your definition? When I watch a show, I go, I'm going to watch these four, they're wild, these four wild women,
Well, there's also a 16-year-old in the show.
Well, no, we can't have that. We can't have the 16-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. But, I'm not a big drinker, and I definitely don't want to be seen as getting drunk on the show and doing something I might regret, because so far, filming, I haven't done anything that I regret. And I think that most of the circumstances that we have on the show are pretty wild. The stuff that's going on with Alexis and just our lives.
Now, we were warned not to mention Alexis because she's been in the paper and there's some alleged problems, and you just brought her.
Keyword.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You got to hope they're true because you're going to be rich, even though your sister may do time. It's worth it. Okay. Well, I mean it. I have a brother. I love my brother, but if my brother was really the wild one and I was going to be rich because my brother is wild, I would egg my brother on. I would go, you know what? Do wilder things than that. You know what you ought to do? You're fabulous when you're wild. And so then you won't get in any real trouble and you'll be fabulous. And it's, come on, it's your sister, for God's sakes.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably teased you when you were a kid and she deserves whatever she gets.
Right. I don't feel that way.
Really? Really? Did you ever steal a dress of yours and then ruin it?
Yes.
All right.
But I've done the same thing to her.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Pretty wild.
Both ways.
It's on E! Sunday nights. Let's look at who Tess is. Now, Tess, have you ever been in a magazine with no clothes on?
I have to admit that I have.
Which magazine?
And I'm proud of it. I have been involved with Playboy the last year.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know it.
Yes, you did. Did you really not know?
No, I swear to God, I didn't know it. That's why I'm going to the pretty wild. So that's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild. I won Girl of the Week, Girl of the Month, and I recently just won Girl of the Year.
Now, I'm looking, they just showed me a picture of you.
Wow.
I feel I'm embarrassed.
I think I have a boner.
I'm embarrassed. You have a wide on.
Those are some tits.
You ever heard that
but you
term
should
before?
be ashamed of yourself. Be a
You know
lady.
what?
Don't
Hold
do
on
that.
a minute.
Don't do that.
Wait, excuse me. Garrett.
Don't be naked.
Garrett, turn that around. I can't look at
terrible.
this.
I can't look at
You know what? I'm still embarrassed when I see somebody naked.
I do, yeah.
So, Tess, when you're taken, and your body is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a temple, and it is, God has made you like a painting and everything else. But the thing is that if I think about you later tonight, I'm going to be fantasizing that we're having sex and everything else. How does that make you feel when millions of guys fantasize about you,
I mean, that's definitely a major compliment and an ego boost. I'm sure every woman would love to have people feel that way about them. So I like it.
I was naked in a magazine once, and you know who fantasized about me?
Who?
Richard Simmons.
My God.
That's the only person. He came up to me.
She probably doesn't know who that is.
You know who Richard Simmons is, the weight guy, the little fruit with the thing. Hey, by the way, Tess Terry Arlington, the show's started. Seems to be doing well. Pretty Wild is on E! Chelsea Handler, who is
can't even speak.
No, I can hardly speak because of the picture. But I mean this, and I'm not joking. I find her talk show to be the most different and funniest talk show.
I don't think she's that funny.
Absolutely love her. So you're lucky to have her. Now let's look at who you are really. It's all this stuff here. Is Gandhi your inspiration?
He is, definitely. We were raised with The Secret and the practicings of The Secret, which is Ernest Holmes' philosophy.
What is wait a minute. What is the secret?
The secret is the power of your thoughts, and really what you think is what you attract into your life. And I completely
You never read The Secret, Jay?
I've heard of it, but I didn't know what it was. You know why? I asked somebody once, and they said, well, it's a secret. I can't tell you.
I read The Secret, and then I got banged without a condom, and boom, a baby.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm going to tell you a secret, Tess. If you took all of your clothes off, I would pretty much do whatever you wanted me to do and worship anything. Your biggest fear is alligators. These are some of the things we found out about you. Now, has an alligator ever chased you? Have you ever been somewhere and an alligator came at you or something?
One time when I was 10 and I saw one and it really freaked me out, and it's just scared.
What about guys? You know how some guys have dry skin? It's kind of scaly, kind of alligator type skin. You ever rubbed a guy's back and said, "Ooh, can't be with him"? It's like kind of alligatory.
Exactly. Yeah, that happens all the time.
You love ballet. We like that. You love Brandon Boyd of Incubus. You love that. Now, when you say you love him, have you reached out to him? Have you ever tried to meet him?
He'd like you.
Yeah.
A big fan of their music.
Oh, just the music.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's pretty hot.
Your first kiss was in the 6th grade. You're at a Barnes & Noble. You're going up the elevator. Oh, my God. It says there's somebody put a tongue in your mouth in the 6th grade.
Yeah, that happened to me, and I ran out of the elevator really, really upset and into the bathroom and washed my mouth out and went home. It was really
So how long before you thought it was okay to have a tongue in your mouth?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
probably in like 9th grade or 10th grade.
9th or 10th? And did the person have to go, you said I've had a bad experience?
I did not bring it up.
Oh, you didn't bring it up? You just let it happen? Your most embarrassing moment was when you pooped in your leotard.
Oh my God, I think you just said that on the radio.
Well, I could have said shit, but I decided not to because you're such a sweetheart. My most embarrassing moment is when I pooped. That's what it says here. I'm sorry we brought these things up. Look, they told me not to talk about your sister, so I said, what the hell, I'll find out stuff about Tess because she doesn't want to hear about her sister. When did you poop in your leotards? Why would you even let that out?
I was
not the poop.
8 years old.
You were 8.
Okay, maybe I was a little older, but
all right.
I was in ballet testing and I got really nervous and it just happened. And
right. All right.
Really cool.
And my final question, where is it? I love pickles and anything with salt and vinegar. I wouldn't put that in there if I were you.
Can I just ask her about...
Garrett Andritz wants to ask you a question.
The time a spider bit Alexis on her vagina.
Yeah.
What's that?
She had to carry her sister over her shoulder.
Your sister was bitten on the vagina by a spider, and what did you do?
Gardening naked, actually. And this happened when we were filming our sizzle reel, and it's a true story. I had to carry her over my shoulder into the hospital, and it wasn't pretty.
Did any of the crew volunteer to suck the poison out of the bite? Huh?
No, there was no crew around at the time.
I see. Hey,
they
Tess.
definitely made sure to put that in the reel. That's what closed out.
Tess, I want to tell you, you have been delightful. You've put up with all the shit we could throw you. Pretty Wild on E, Sunday nights at 10 o'clock. I hope it's a huge hit, all right?
Thank you so much.
And tell that Chelsea Handler that Jay Thomas thinks she's very funny and the best talk show on television, okay?
Oh, I definitely will relay that message over to her.
Tess, good luck. I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great day, and I'll be sure to tune in.
Thank you, Tess, so much. Thanks.
Bye.
I'm not kidding. I'm crazy about her.
Me too.
Well, after seeing so am I.
No, but I liked your personality.
I think I'm switching teams.
That's true.
Stay where you are. A special guest. Again, yesterday it happened. Cheech came in. A special surprise guest.
Kojak?
No. And by the way, we had a guy on whose life I changed yesterday, years ago, and he sent us a very nasty phone message.
You've changed his life again.
Again, but for the worse. Stay where you are. Incredible special guest and a man whose life I changed and then ruined. It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to listen to the words of the Almighty Jay. So do not be afraid to call, because he wants to hear from you.
If you got something to say, just give a cartoon chick call. 888-410-102.
All together now.
If you haven't got that day, do not be afraid. Call 888-410-102.
The Jay Thomas Show. This is a chance for you to air your opinions, say anything you'd like to say.
Very, very good, Jay.
Do not be afraid. Call 888-410-102.
That's Jeff Furlot, who is a listener and, of course, a friend of the show and works for the Gumbo Radio Network. Not for a lot of money, I'll tell you that. But he does incredible stuff. incredible stuff. In fact, if you think you can do stuff, send it to the Jay Thomas Show. You can MP3 it, can't you, to jthomas.com, right?
Yes.
See if you can even come close to that, all right? Bobby Slayton, who was with us yesterday, Cheech came in the room. Poor Shuley was here. He was outgunned by some major comedians. So
Shuley was here yesterday? I didn't even hear him.
Bobby, when you shut up talking, because I kind of took over the show.
There were a lot of people in here yesterday. There was Ira, Bobby, your friend Joey, that Kojak character.
Oh, and then we had a little girl on just now from a new show called Pretty Wild, and she's been in a magazine and the whole thing, and she and her sisters are on this E-channel show that Chelsea Handler produces. After the show, I was shown a picture of your daughter who was in the swimming pool with my son when they were both babies. And your daughter is like this gorgeous thing, right?
Wow.
Now,
where'd you see that on the internet?
Yeah. She sings and stuff. She has a music.
She's got a great voice.
Now, let me ask you a question. She's what? Now, my 21. Son's 19. She's 21, 2 years older.
Uh-oh.
She's got a boyfriend, so don't even think about it.
Yeah, but no, I forget that. The thing is that these little girls, and this little girl was really sweet, they got to take their clothes off, they got to get their tits fixed and all that. And have you ever sat down with your daughter and said, and I'm sure your wife has, and your wife is gorgeous, you're not doing any of that because you don't have to do that.
Well, she doesn't have to. She never would. So I don't know.
But you know what?
She's a good girl, right?
Yeah, but are they bad girls, the ones that do it? But you know what? A lot of big movie stars, a lot of these big movie stars that we're excited by now,
take their clothes off?
And have done that, yeah. And if I had a daughter,
a couple do here and there.
I would say don't do it, you know?
Well, they're not going to listen to me, and they're not going to listen to you. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. If they want to throw a shoe at David Letterman, they're going to do it. They're not going to ask your permission.
Oh, my God, don't even bring that up. That asshole. I saw my whole career as the shoe as it was floating.
I didn't mean to bring it up just because you'd have to tell the story again. I don't want to get you started with that or the Lone Ranger.
God.
But, which, by the way, one of the greatest stories of all time.
Shut up.
I know it is. Hey, by the way,
you know what I know you do every year?
Jay,
how does he get away with that shit every year? Don't lie to me.
You know, Jay, no, I love this story because it's one of the great stories.
Can you believe I tell it every fucking year?
But you know what I love about you? You and I are such on the same page with so many things. You know, last night, I was just going to ask you if after the show you want to go out to get something to eat. And you know what? You're like me. You like to go out by yourself and sit at a table. My wife doesn't get that. Why do you want to sit by yourself? And she doesn't get because after doing radio all day and after working at night, and you just want to sit by yourself with a magazine. And it always sounds like a good idea to sue with somebody. And after half an hour, you go, this really sucks.
I like doing that, sitting with my magazine at a restaurant.
Really?
You got to sit at like the bar area. Yeah, I know. I like that.
Really?
Maybe not so much at dinner, but at lunch. Maybe.
Well, everybody does it at lunch.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
What about
you know what?
I've been to movies by myself.
Please stop trying to fit in.
I have been to movies by myself.
No, you
but
haven't.
I won't go. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I like to go to a movie by myself.
You know what movie I saw by myself? Titanic.
I saw that by myself too.
I wanted to go by myself and be alone.
Right. And you cried, didn't you?
Last night, I get out of here. I'd been up since 4:00. I go back to the room. I take a tub bath. I release my
as
attention.
Opposed to a sponge
No, a tub bath.
He always says a tub bath.
No, but not a shower. I took a tub and I relax and I read the magazine and all. And I go, I'm really hungry. And I go, it's like 7:30. I said, I know that Bobby is walking around thinking of stuff.
Which I was. In your neighborhood, too.
And I said, you know what? If I call him, we talked all day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what are we going to talk about?
Exactly.
And so I didn't. He came in and he said, gee, I thought about calling you, but we had talked all day, and you were with the guy for 30 minutes, and you were sorry you were with him.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And a good friend of mine, too, but I don't want to sit and talk to them. And like tonight, the same thing. After the show, I just did another radio show before yours, and I just want to go walk by myself.
Now, you have a gravelly voice.
I do.
Do you ever lose it? Is it a weak? I have a weak voice, and I can lose it a lot. I haven't done it much in our career, have I, Garrett? Not really. But there are years.
Letterman will do a show with no voice. Did you see that?
I don't buy. Yeah, I saw that. I don't like it.
Here's the thing. My voice, from years of yelling, I've had nodes taken on my vocal cords a couple of times.
Right.
Nodules, which singers get all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when they get them,
do they look like anyone?
The nodules? I never saw them.
Like Larry King.
Yeah. Do they?
Are they supposed to look like?
Well, when
tumors are taken out, sometimes they look like.
When they got some stuff out of, I guess, Bush's ass, and a couple of them looked like Cheney. I remember that they showed the actual mole, the whatever it was.
Well, Cheney had his head up his ass, so that was the whole idea. Is that
This joke was not funny yesterday, and it's even unfunnier today.
I just want to make sure that was the joke.
That was close to the joke. I was working on something.
You're a very funny guy, but that one didn't quite. Okay, we'll work on that. It might be better tomorrow. No, here's the thing. They took them off, and they said to me, I lost my voice when out on stage. When I say lost my voice, I would talk, and all of a sudden nothing would come out, and then you'd have, you hit it, not in a note, but all of a sudden you'd be talking in the middle of a sentence, a word wouldn't come out. So I went to the doctor, took the notes off. The next time something happened with my throat, they checked my throat. The doctor said, look, it's probably okay. There's white spots in your vocal cords. It's probably not cancer, but we need to check it. And he checked it. It turns out my vocal cords were just so calloused from yelling all the time. And I used
in your act, you mean?
Well, just from yelling over the years and not using my voice correctly and talking not from my diaphragm that I developed. It's just this lazy throat. And over the years, I'm not supposed to be talking like this, but my voice got so calloused and my throat is so sore that it's just talk. I sound like this one about.
Does your wife think you talk a lot?
Oh yeah, my daughter and wife always tell me.
They tell you talk all the time.
No, it's two things. It's you never talk to me or you don't shut up. It's never. There's no middle ground in my house.
I've never heard you don't talk to me. I've never heard that ever.
My wife says to me constantly, "How come you never talk to me? I have nothing to say." I mean, and then when
I know why you like to be by yourself and. Because you and I do the same thing. I find myself incredibly interesting when I'm alone.
I have a lot of things. I have a lot of questions, and I'm the only one who can answer them.
That's exactly right.
I don't know if I'm interesting or smarter, but I walk down the street and go, what's wrong with that guy? That'll answer my question. Look at that retard. Why is that guy doing that? Because he's an idiot. And I don't need your affirmation, and I don't need your help. I got it all figured out.
Right.
And if I need to answer a question, I'll call somebody that might know the answer.
By the way, Bobby has the special on Showtime, which is great, and then he has the DVD. But tomorrow morning, you're going to be on CBS.
Yeah, I don't get this. CBS National, that Harry Smith show.
Yes.
They called me up yesterday, and they're doing a new thing. Joy Behar does this all the time, and Bill Maher does it all the time. And the panel.
The panel.
Now, how did they choose you? Did somebody hear you, one of the interns?
I don't know. I think what happened was...
Well, no, you were on a lot of radio shows. I'd love to say it's mine.
They called Kevin Nealon, who's playing over at Caroline's. I think they went to see who's playing at the comedy clubs, or maybe the comedy, and they've never done this before. So on the CBS Morning News at 8 o'clock, and the comics were on playing this weekend, called me up and said, "Do you want to be on the CBS News?" I go, "Well, national news." I go, "What am I going to do? Did I sex scandal?"
You gotta hope that they pick the Tiger Woods thing.
If they do, I'm going to use your line.
You got the line.
They're going to tell me the jokes tonight, the topics tonight,
right?
And I'm going to go over them. I might call you for a lifeline tonight.
I wonder if they're going to mention Larry King.
I think that would probably be another one.
Right.
It's not so much. They want to do a paddle. They want to do a paddle with the comedians, 4 or 5 minutes of what's in the news. But when you say what's in the news, I have a feeling it's going to be more than pop culture.
Okay.
The People magazine.
I got a Larry King one for you.
Because I'm trying to think of one of those.
What's amazing about Larry King is when you look at him, he just doesn't look sexy. But apparently there's something there that we don't get, right? And recently they found like a 2 million year old woman. They found her bones.
Right.
And when they dug her up, there was a cocktail napkin with Larry's phone number on it in her pocket.
I don't know about that one.
That's a good one.
Huh? How about the fact that...
Shut up, Garrett!
How about the fact that Larry has been married 8 times?
7
times. What's amazing about Larry King, a lot of people don't know this, he's been around forever. It's not the original Larry King. It's like Lassie. There have been 7 Larry Kings. He is the great-great-great-grandson of the original Larry King. That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
And you have to also say he looks like... We were doing it earlier. He looks like the guy from Tales in the Crypt.
The Crypt Keeper.
He does look like that. And what we were saying was, are the women sleeping with him because he's got something special, or is that the money? What is that? Why?
I don't know. I never got it. But we talked about that yesterday, why these women walk around with these guys,
Do you know when she met him, by the way?
No.
3 days before he had a stent put in his heart. She met him, they were attracted to each other, and he went into the hospital for major heart surgery. So she marries him a few months later. So she thought he was going to die.
Right, of course.
And he hasn't died.
Well, that makes sense, too.
Yeah, he hadn't died.
Oh, by the way, you got me a little bit of trouble yesterday, and I don't want to plug any more gigs. I didn't realize how many people listen to your show, Jay. I didn't realize.
I didn't either.
No? Well, let me tell you.
You know what? That laugh is so phony when you do that. 12.
I thought you loved my laugh.
I don't.
You sound like Robert De Niro from Cape Fear.
You said that about Ira yesterday.
I know, he had the same laugh.
You know what? I say a joke twice and no one laughs at it. Asshole comes in, same joke, different person.
How many people listen to
Anytime
the
anybody
show?
cackles, more like the Wicked Witch.
I'm a cackler.
You know what? A lot of people listen, and I'm surprised myself.
I know.
But here's
Look
the
at
thing.
the phones. They're blowing.
Well, they're not ringing now, but they rang all day.
But yesterday, you kept plugging my gig this weekend at Comics in New York City. And I get a call from a club called Pepper Belly's Comedy Club.
Oh, I love that place.
Pepper Belly's in Fairfield, California.
California.
Pepper Belly's in Fairfield. Yeah. And I'm playing there next weekend. And they said, Bobby, we're not selling any tickets. You go to the Jay Thomas show and all you do is plug in comics. And I realized people go to BobbySlayton.com. I get a call from Toronto. I get an email from Toronto.
Where is Pepper Belly's?
Fairfield. It's outside of Sacramento.
If you're in the outside of Sacramento area, in what's the name of the town?
Fairfield.
Fairfield.
You could be in Sacramento. You have to be in Fairfield.
Fairfield, California. I may be in attendance at that show.
There you go.
And I may be giving out some J. Thomas T-shirts. But Bobby Slayton will be at Pepper.
Do you know?
Fields.
Next week I'm going to do.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Do you know next week I'm going to do the George Lopez show? And Pepper Belly said to me, "Can you plug it on the Lopez show?" The one and only time I did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. You know, Johnny. Yeah, I go on the Tonight Show and I'm playing a club in Palo Alto, California, Sunnyvale rather, called Rooster T. Feathers. I'm playing there that weekend, and I couldn't go on the first Tonight Show and have Johnny Carson go, Bobby Slayton will be at Rooster T. Feathers. Now, it's not Radio City Musical. I'm not playing Lincoln Center, but I said, look,
a college would have been better. Anything, yeah.
Say he's a regular at the Improv,
something,
Catch a Rising Star, whatever.
You're right.
I can't go on national television and say I'm at Rooster T. Feathers. Johnny Carson, because I remember this, some comic was once on a show, and he was playing Zany's Comedy Club in Chicago, and Johnny says, Zany's Comedy Club in Chicago, great name for a comedy club, really bad name for a hospital. And I'm thinking, if Johnny's going to say that about Zany's, what is he going to say about Rooster T. Feathers?
Oh, just let him do it.
Did
he do it?
No, I mentioned he's a regular at the Improv. I couldn't say Rooster T. Feathers.
Oh, you know what? Now that you say he did the Zany's thing, I think you could have. It was embarrassing to you that it was Rooster T.
Well,
Feathers.
it's my first Johnny Carson Tonight Show. I wanted.
That's a funny bit. You actually would have been endearing if you could have played into that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't.
That's too bad.
I wasn't getting a percentage of the door. I wasn't making that much money. I couldn't.
Yeah, but still, it's a funny place to be performing.
Well, good. Well, George Lopez will mention Pepper Belly's next week. We'll see what it does for you. Okay,
right?
Because you did a lot with Pepper Belly's. I can't imagine what you would do with Zany's, Jay. But thanks.
Well, I don't know why they named those clubs those things. Well, I don't get why they do. Why don't they do
Pepper
that?
Belly.
Well, how about Comedy Club? I mean, just name it something.
With a K.
That's...
Wait, in Rochester...
K and a K?
Rochester, New York is a great club called the Comedy Club.
Yeah.
For years, comics have been joking about
the Fun House.
Well, they have a place called the Fun House. Okay? The biggest joke...
Chuckles.
Wait. No, the biggest joke around comics was, where do you play this week? The Chuckle Hut? I think there's a place now called the Chuckle Hut. There's a Yuck Yucks in Canada. There's a Chuckle Hut.
How about Fat Fun? P-H-A-T.
I think it's...
You have to be black to play that.
No, I think it's cute,
Fat Fun.
Pepper Bellies. Let George Lopez do it. Come on.
I'm going to let him do it.
So you walked around, and we talked about working on something yesterday.
And I'm going to work on that. I worked on it today.
What was it? What was the idea? I've forgotten what it was.
The idea was basically Tiger Woods, two things. Number one...
Now that he's cured.
Now that he's cured of sex, his wife divorces him.
Yeah.
Now, I came up with the punchline today. You ready? Because you gave me... Remember you said this? I'll give you the concept. You come up with the punchline.
Sure.
Okay, the concept you gave me was, this is great. So Tiger Woods, for 5-6 weeks, goes into the Sex Anonymous thing.
In Mississippi.
Well,
you know what? There's another joke. No, but there's another joke there, too, because...
Can we do one joke at a time?
No, but it's a shithole place to be, so it makes 6 weeks even longer.
Okay, that's one way to... 6 weeks even longer, yeah.
But, I mean, it's almost like I spent a year one night in Cleveland. You know that old joke.
Right.
There's something about it's in shithole Mississippi. Just put that in the back of your head.
Yeah, that'll be the next joke. But the thing that I came up with, you came up with the concept. Here's a guy goes to 6 weeks of sex therapy, sex anonymous, sex rehabilitation, and he's cured, and his wife divorces him. It's just a waste. It's like Keith Richards quitting heroin, and the Stones kicking him out of the band. That's my punchline. That's good. Okay,
all right.
That's what I said.
No,
I like when you laugh at me. I like the cackle more. You laugh at him, it's a cackle. You laugh at me, it's funny.
You want to hear something? This is like being in a writing room at a television show. It really is. People wonder
why television sucks. This is why. This is the best I can come up with.
Now, wait a minute. Now, that's a really good line, but it's not quite funny enough.
It's not quite funny enough.
But I would use that line.
It's to like almost something about it. People don't know Keith Richards, but it's a nice analogy. For now, and since the joke is not going to last forever, and it's got a very short shelf life, I don't want to spend too much time.
Are you nervous now about the line?
No.
Okay.
No. Because it doesn't matter. I'm going to still do it.
You're going to try this out this weekend or on George
Well, then you got the
Lopez?
Nike joke, which is a $150 joke if I was selling it.
Right. Well, I'd say $100. We'll see how it does first. These days, some comic would try to sell me a joke and I like to write my own material. I go, maybe I'll buy the joke. Let me see how it does. Because in the old days, I'd buy a joke and it would go nowhere. I go, no, great. I paid $50 for a joke that nobody laughs at. So that was stupid.
So you test the joke first before you buy it.
It's
I
like
like
a
that.
car. You get to take it for a ride, take it for a spin before I buy it. Want to buy this car? Let me try it first.
I'm glad you're here because I have I have a lot of different type of guests, but there's a magazine that I like, which is called Skeptic Magazine. Have you ever read it?
No, I've never heard of it.
All right. And Dr. Michael Shermer, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
Good. Were you surprised that a radio show such as the Jay Thomas Show wanted to speak to a man who's the founder of Skeptic Magazine?
I'm skeptical.
Yeah, because you're skeptical of everything.
He's never used that one before.
But
Yeah,
the thing about your magazine is, and my friend Madison is here.
Is it just negativity or is it skepticism?
Well, Bobby Slayton. But I'm a skeptic, and whenever I read things, and I'm a student of the Bible, and I mean it, I really am. And when I read the Bible, I say, why don't people look at what's in the Bible as skeptically? A billion people.
Right.
Why don't they look at the history of Muhammad or of Buddha or whatever? And your magazine is dedicated not just to that, but looking almost skeptically at even scientific stuff. Correct?
Oh, sure, yeah. Skeptic is primarily a science magazine. If you walk into any Barnes & Noble Borders bookstore, you'll find it right next to Scientific American, National Geographic. So that's our primary thing, except that within the last decade or so, the whole science and religion thing has become such a brouhaha in America.
Right.
Especially after 9/11, that, the whole new atheist movement and the fear of the clash of civilizations with Islam and all that has really come to the forefront, in which people really want to know, well, how do you know that book is right? Which is the right book written by the Creator? And, of course, Muslims believe they have the right book, and Christians believe they have the right book. And, so is there a way to settle these disputes in the same kind of way that scientists settle disputes, like, say, over climate change, more data and so on? And it isn't quite the same in religion as it is with science, is it? I mean, you don't think of experiments you could run in religion that would settle an issue like you would with, say, is the earth getting warmer, or is it caused by humans, that kind of thing, in which, at least in principle, more data will answer the question for us. But what kind of evidence would we have for God, say, or a miraculous healing, or something like that?
I'm going to go back to about religion. I had no idea, and I believe it's in Mark, that Christ had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. I didn't know that until this week. I never even...
Were they virgin births as well?
No, and that's Dr. Yule. The word virgin was translated from the Greek and was put into the Bible as virgin, but in Greek it meant maiden or young girl.
Yeah, young girl, young maiden, right. So this whole business about the obsession, particularly in the Catholic Church, with virginity and sexual purity.
But that's in the Bible, by the way, that the original translation of the Bible prior to the English translation or whatever. And so now she's about 14 or 15. She's engaged to Joseph. He's their fiance. And she announces to him that she is pregnant. And the only reason why they go to Bethlehem is because of the tax thing. And he goes with her anyway. And many people think either a Roman soldier raped her, or they said that Jesus was the son of David. Could King David, or one of his sons or something, done something to Mary?
Well,
I'm asking you because it's okay with me that it wasn't a virgin birth. I'd rather...
I think
it's unrealistic.
It's
unrealistic. Right, yes, sir. Yeah.
I think a better explanation is that there's just no such thing as virgin births. But mythologically speaking, lots of religions and myths have virgin birth origins because it sets the leader or the alpha male or the creator apart as something special. If you wanted to be cynical in a funny way, I mean, you can imagine, given the levels of promiscuity and infidelities in marriages, that she had a fun weekend and then told her husband, it was God who did it.
Can you imagine Joseph going into the bar? He goes into a bar and he's sitting with his pals, and they go, "Hey man, what's up?" "Well, I'm engaged. I'm getting married." And you know what's crazy?
We don't serve Jews here.
No. You know what's crazy is my wife is pregnant, and they go, "Well, congratulations." No, you know what? It's not me. It's God. And I mean, guys went to bars back then. They had, it's like who no one believed that back then, did they, Doctor? No, come on.
You can imagine that conversation where his buddies are going, "Wait, you're buying this story?"
Yeah. And so in fact, you wrote a book, Why People Believe Weird Things. That's one of your books, isn't it? That's right.
That's right.
I read that book. Yes, I did. Because I am, and here's another thing. If it wasn't God, if it wasn't the supernatural, Muhammad, whatever, I think we'd worship something. Man wants to worship something.
Absolutely. We do two things. Our brains are designed to find patterns and connect the dots and put meaning into them. And a lot of the meaning we put into it has to do with intentional agency. That is, hidden forces that have intention and agency behind the scenes. So these are demons and angels and gods and ghosts and poltergeists and extraterrestrials and secret conspiracies and so on. Our brains are just wired up to find stuff like that, whether they're true or not. And that's the basis of spirituality, religion, of superstition, magical thinking, again, including conspiracy theories, or even the idea that, one person or 12 people can run the economy through some special forces of decision-making process. We've seen how well that works.
So, but you know what? You certainly would be skeptical. When the stock market, like this week, the stock market has gone above 11,000.
Yeah.
I work every day among the public. The economy is not better. My economy is not better. Yours is not better. The companies that are forcing, and the people that are forcing the stock market up, it is being manipulated by the same bastards that caused all the trouble, and yet even the government doesn't want to be skeptical of it, because they really, even Obama, all of them have to say, look, it's getting better, and it isn't better. It couldn't get better this quickly is really the answer, isn't it, Doctor?
Probably we have to give it another 6 months, a year before we breathe a sigh of relief, I think. And in any case, the boom and bust cycle is normal and natural. That's always going to happen. The question is, how can we, ride out the bust and get back into the boom periods without them being too high or too low? So artificially manipulating the interest rates, for example, and lowering them too low, sends a false signal into the marketplace that money is cheap. Therefore, now's a good time to invest in things like condominiums, homes, office buildings. But it was never a solid signal. The demand was not really there. And so then you get the big crash, and that's essentially what happened.
Dr. Michael Shermer.com and Skeptic Magazine, you wrote a book once called The Science of Good and Evil, Why People Cheat, Gossip, Share Care, and Follow the Golden Rule. And a lot of people would say we do it because of God. I have never been good because of God. I either share with you or don't kill you or whatever. But if I ran for government and said that, I'd be called a...
you'd never get elected.
Right.
Well, so this is one of the great, sort of myths of our time, is that you have to believe in a supernatural origin of morality. And yet,
well, it's got to be the right one too. You can't be a Muslim and run for office.
Right. Yes,
and our governor in Louisiana, where I'm from, Bobby Jindal, was a Hindu, and he knew he could not be a Hindu and be elected, so he became a Catholic to get into government. That's the truth. Yeah,
that's right. So basically, we are born with a moral template. That is, we have moral emotions and feelings. We have a sense of right and wrong and how to interact with other people. And we all know that if you lie too much, people won't trust you. And if you break promises in business or marriages and relationships, people won't trust you. And we're born with that. Now, cultures tweak them a little bit, and they tell you what you're supposed to feel guilty about. But what I wanted to know is...
you think we're born to be faithful to a spouse?
No. We're born to know that if we're not faithful, we're going to feel guilty because we're going to get in big trouble with our spouse.
But wait, even those African tribes or the tribes, the Eskimos and all that share their wives and the Mormons and all of that. I mean, these are plural societies. The Muslim society is plural.
Right. So culture can tweak those moral emotions for sure. In the case of the Mormons, I don't think most of those women really want to go for that. They're indoctrinated at such a young age. Most of them don't know any different.
How many wives do you have, Doctor?
Only one that I can tell you about.
Only one you know about right now? Okay, right.
I like that he's skeptical about the virgin birth. That makes me feel good.
But you know what? Instead of saying man was born with a clean slate and made up the morality, I'm surprised to hear you say that there's something etched.
Oh, yeah, no, I think evolution gave us a moral sense, for sure.
Really?
We're a social primate species. Yeah, this is the basis of my book, The Science of Good and Evil. We're a social primate species, and in order to be social and get along with your fellow group members, you have to be cooperative, you have to be pro-social, occasionally altruistic, or at least reciprocally altruistic. I'll scratch your back if you'll scratch mine. You have to have a sense of fairness and justice. There's a little game called the ultimatum game where, let's say I have $100 and I give you the $100, and I tell you to make an offer to your radio mate there sitting there of a split, and you can split it 50-50, 60-40.
Wait a minute. You give me $100, and why do I offer her money for what? For what reason?
So here's the deal: if you make an offer of a split, if she accepts your offer, you both get to keep the money. If she rejects your offer, I take the money back. So wait a
minute. So you give me $100.
Yep.
And I say, okay, I'll give you $50. And you say what, Madison?
Of course.
And so then what?
And then you each get the $50. But why would you do that? Why not offer her $10? Because she's probably gonna take $10.
Jay would. He would offer me $5.
No, you know what? I really wouldn't. I mean this. I really wouldn't, because you know why? No, I need her, and if I say too low of a number, why fool around? I don't have the $50 anyway. So, and you might be stupid enough to offer me $1,000 next time. So I'm a 50-50 guy.
Huh. Yeah, that's unusual. Actually, most people offer something like a 60-40 split, and when 90-10 offers are made, they're usually rejected. So in other words, Madison is willing to pay me $10 to punish you for making such an unfair offer. Now, why would she do that?
Well, if she only had one answer, you didn't say we could negotiate.
Yeah,
you said one answer. That's right.
It's a one-shot deal.
I know that I've been negotiating my entire life, and I know that if I hit the wrong number first, I have to negotiate in a further direction. When I'm told take it or leave it, and you've told me it's ultimatum, take it or leave it, I either give you the $100 back or I say a number that I know is going to be taken. And so if I said 40 and she had to think about it for 60 seconds, I don't even want to take that chance. It makes me seem honest. It makes me seem to be like a partner in this deal, you know?
See, that's right. And you have a sense of
but
your reputation. You care about your reputation.
Jesus told me to do that. Jesus made me do that.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Skeptic Magazine, I know Scientific American, my dad got it. It's the oldest published magazine in the United States. Yeah, it is. Very hard for me to read. It is. How long has Skeptic Magazine been around?
We started that in 1992.
How's it doing? Magazines don't...
It's doing well.
It is?
No, it's hanging in there. Yeah, we have a lot of support. There's a lot of people that like our magazine. It does pretty well.
All right.
It's a quarterly publication. You can get it online at skeptic.com or just walk into any bookstore, and it's sitting right there in the science section.
So when your kids or your family come to you and they say something to you and you are skeptical about it, do they call you out and go, you're skeptical about everything, Michael?
Yes, they do. I get that every day, pretty much.
Do they ever say you're negative?
Like cynical, yeah. But probably the most popular thing these days is that you should be skeptical of global warming. And then my global warming scientist friends say I should be skeptical of the global warming skeptic. So here's an example of where skepticism is not a thing. It's an approach to claims, and you have to pick them one at a time.
Are you skeptical of the healthcare?
I am. Yes, I think there's much to be skeptical about there simply because of the cost are going to be extraordinary tax burdens.
Now, what about me? I figure that it'll work itself out because everything always in government ends up in the middle somewhere, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Are you not skeptical about anything? Is there anything you're not skeptical about?
I'm not skeptical about evolution. Theory of evolution is well supported.
Well, wait a minute now. In Kansas and in Texas, they're saying that human beings are 6,000 years old. That's it.
That's right. In other words, the world was created about 1,000 years after the Babylonians invented beer.
Right. And I think man's been around how many hundreds of thousands of years?
Hundreds of thousands. Yeah, our species alone about 150,000 years.
Yeah, but when you bring up everything and you show these biblical scholars this, they say that your science is incorrect.
Well, but it's not. They don't really know the science. The science is pretty solid. In fact, that's where I am right now. I'm at UC Santa Barbara on a college tour with my daughter.
I'm from Santa Barbara.
You are?
Yeah, but I'm in New York. Otherwise, I would take you out somewhere, but you'd probably be skeptical of everything we wanted. Like, are you skeptical of the specials of the day? And
should I go to La Superica for dinner tonight?
No. You know where you go? You go to Dargan's in the middle of town. town.
What's the place you took me? It was fantastic.
Oh, that was the Blue Agave.
Oh,
you know what? Take your daughter. Take your daughter to Dargan's and tell Paul that Jay Thomas sent you, and you're done. Okay?
Dargan's. Okay, Dargan's. Dargens.
Yeah. It's a real pub. Good food, good beer. You'll enjoy
I'll
it.
go there. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Bye. There he is.
Goodbye.
Skeptic Mag. He had to go.
Fast.
I like that guy. That guy's cool.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were you surprised that I had a guest like that on for a moment?
I was surprised you were that smart. I thought you were an idiot. I mean, I'm surprised you knew that much.
Oh no, I've been a biblical scholar my entire life because
why is that? When it's like being a scholar of a fairy tale. Are you a fan of the Grimm brothers and try to analyze all that crap? And
I'll tell you exactly why, and I've said it on the air a million times. When I was a little boy, I went to Catholic school, but not Catholic school all the time. I went to catechism. My dad wasn't religious. In fact, he was a Methodist. My mother was a Catholic knee jerk, and so I would hear these stories. And they got the guy, and he was a nice guy, and they crucified him, and they put nails in his hands.
And did they blame the Jews?
Yeah, they did.
Which is stupid.
And they killed him and everything else. Well, I'm watching the movie. I guess it's Spartacus, right? And I'm a little boy, right? And the movie Spartacus is out, and I'm watching it with my dad, and they crucified not only Spartacus, but about another 1,000 of his followers. Thousands. And the road is lined with crucified guys. And I turned to my dad, I went, what is that? He goes, crucifixion was a way that they tortured and killed people for thousands of years. And I go, wait a minute, you mean Christ and those other two guys weren't the only? And he goes, no, in fact, they usually tied their arms. It took 3 or 4 days to die because your insides,
that's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
Your insides what? I want to hear this.
Your insides, gravity, it's why Larry King wears suspenders so that his insides don't go down. That's from 3 hours
It's
ago.
pretty painful, huh?
Yeah. And so you are being hung and your insides are being drawn down and your feet are dangling. And so you die, but it takes days for all of your insides, gravity to drag your insides down.
Better than 22 years of marriage.
Yes, it is.
You don't die immediately from the blood in
No.
your hands?
That is what's made up.
Oh, not the virgin birth.
when the Bible was being written, 100 or so years after the so-called act, they said, well, so what? Lots of people are crucified. And it was one of these.
Wow.
Oh, yeah? Well. And then they added the nails in his arms and his hands to make it even more horrifying.
Well, so that never happened.
I don't believe it happened. No, I do not. And then in ancient history, there is someone called Hieros. He was believed to do miracles. He was of a virgin birth, and he was crucified, and he lived thousands of years before Christ. And his hands were pierced with nails also, Hieros. But if you read the Bible, I believe it's in Mark and Matthew, they talk about Christ's brothers and sisters. So once I started hearing all that, my dad would just say it very matter-of-factly. I went, oh my God, I have believed all of this stuff, and I became skeptical of it, and I went to a high school that allowed me to be skeptical, Jesuit high school. And one day a priest said, I cannot prove any of this happened. You have to have faith, and that's it. And so if you want to go through the Bible page by page, or the Quran, or the whatever the Jews believe in.
Well, the first Bible, the real
Torah.
Bible. I never got that. The Jews had the Old Testament,
Hey,
and then
that's my
you
Bible.
guys came along and go, well, we'll rewrite this. It's
No, I'll tell you why.
I don't
Wasn't
believe
it
in the
just
old
part
one.
2?
No.
Yeah, it's like King Kong the sequel. It's
No,
just-
because it was eye for an eye, and it was based on revenge, and it was based on hoarding. It was based on not being, loving and everything else. And when Christ came, supposedly, some peace and love people came with him, and they said, and that's just true, peace and love. And so they rewrote the Bible to make it peace and love.
But they still say it's a word from God when they rewrote it.
Yes, that's
so
right.
it makes no sense.
But what you're saying right now, is it not activated by some spirit from somewhere that you can't identify?
Of course not. I went to Hebrew school, which sucks because I'm not even Jewish.
We don't have any more time for his ideas.
It's so stupid.
We
Are
don't
you
need
Jewish?
it. What do you think he is?
I don't know.
You can't tell.
Slave
Are you
time?
kidding?
If I was in
a
Germany
Jew.
in 1940, they say save the cardboard star. Look at him.
I don't know.
Save-
no, you're not
save the star.
Am I necessarily?
Don't
Would you
waste
look
the
at me
paper.
and think that I am immediately?
You're just as
No.
annoying as a Jew, so yes.
yes,
No, you're
thank
very
you.
nice. No, wait, no, you know what? Yesterday, when I met you, I didn't think you were a Jew, but now that
Yeah.
you're talking, you
Yeah.
seem like very Fran Drescher.
And by the way, since you've been pregnant, you look so pretty.
Thank you.
And I mean it. And you have a glow about
Thank
you,
you.
that and before you were not attractive at all.
You're an asshole.
We'll be right back. I don't want to talk to a beat-up disc jockey. Hey, the Jay Thomas Show. We're in New York City, which is unusual. I'm usually back in California, and we had 2 guests this week that were back in Santa Barbara, believe it or not. One was Chuck Liddell, who I was making fun of, and in the middle of me saying I could kick his ass, he called up. So we'll run that. We ended the show with it as he was threatening to kick my ass, and we'll try and end that. But we had a guy on whose life I changed, and he came in, and he's a friend of Ira's and stuff, and he was a respiratory therapist. Bobby, you remember this guest, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yes, you do. And so he sat here for a while. Then Cheech came in. Bobby was here. A lot was happening. I said, congratulations. Then he had people call up. He had some old beat-up DJ call up, and he had some friends and guy. You know, it's like, and he left in a huff.
You changed his life to what?
He wanted to be a DJ.
Okay.
He won a contest about 10 years ago, be a DJ for the day at this station I worked at, an oldie station that didn't last long, Jammin' 105.
This is what you did to Ira as well.
And Ira has been my friend forever, and from there. And so now this guy comes on, and so I thought, I'll bring him on. Ira will say, you can bring him on. And he'll say, Jay, you changed my life. I'm a mobile DJ and blah, blah, blah. Well, he must have wanted me to talk about him for 3 hours or whatever. And do you have it? Yeah. He left here in a huff, and he left Garrett this this phone message. And even Ira said that the guy there was something wrong with the guy.
He was rude to me when I was introduced to him.
First of all, he's a boring individual. And so he's lucky that I even had him in the friggin' building. Here we go. Listen.
Anyway, that was really embarrassed on K. Reed. Yesterday, Jay got really, he got very, very obnoxious, and insulting the people in the oldies industry by asking the Wayne who rolled up these people coming time for walkers, and just it's very degrading. And I was really, really embarrassed on K. Reed and people then. And I understand the Chiefs guy, was one there, but he let my people wait on the phone for a half hour, especially legendary disc jockey PBS, 33 years, Don K. Reed. I really should open my mouth at something. I know it's not your fault, it's just the way the guy is.
Would have been a better show if he'd have said something.
On him, and he got a banter and rave and whatnot. But that was really, really disgusting and really downgrading me to come there and go whole nonsense.
Didn't we plug where he was going to be spinning? Cut it off. He's
Who
out
did
of
he call? He called you, Garrett?
Yeah.
First he called Ira. Then Ira called me this morning. Garrett! Can you believe that, Ken?
Yeah.
He was sitting there lifting up his head. Then he calls me this morning. He's upset. And Ira's like, good. He Ira's totally.
You know what? Ira's changed completely since she's started to work here, And by the way, you called Ira some names that we can't allow either yesterday.
Oh, Bob.
What? He's coming to my show.
Yes, and don't call any names.
What did I call him?
We're not even going to say it again.
I don't
the
know.
R word.
Retard?
All right.
No, I'm not calling that. He's not here. Where is he, by the way?
No, he doesn't work here every day.
Oh.
He's busy.
Now, is that really...
He's in Yonkers.
He's a gambler.
He's gambling.
Oh, gambles.
He gambles.
Well, is he good with numbers like he is with the weather?
No.
No, he's not like
He's a
that.
loser. He's a loser.
He's not an autistic savant.
No, he's not.
He's
He's
not
not.
an autistic savant?
Penny slots.
Yeah.
So what would you call him?
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy that's a little slow. He probably
a little slow. He's not slow. He's really on top of things as far as the weather thing. I mean, that's not he really knows.
Well, we don't know if those temperatures are correct. I don't know that. I mean, when he's here, we say it's correct. And everybody that calls, they love him. He's beloved here. And you got some threatening emails on my jthomas.com. I mean, really threatening.
Really?
No, I mean, I'm not joking.
Oh, my God.
Really threatening.
Cool.
Okay. But I mean, they were mad at you about Ira, not about you. And, you could have made fun of me or done anything. But
They're going to go to
why do
Pebble
they love him
Feathers
so
and
much?
kick your
Nobody
ass.
knows. He's just lovable. And when he goes on the air, and at the Howard Stern show, he came on Friday mornings, and that's the roughest crowd you can play in front of. They absolutely love it. Nobody says anything about him. And those guys would, they would crucify me with big nails in my hands and everything else if they could get to me. Those guys.
So when he does the weather, when people call him from other cities, you think they're just making that up, that he's really got it right?
I
They love
don't
him so
ask.
much?
We don't ask any questions. That's what he likes to do.
Jeez.
He's just a friend of the show. That's all. And he loves radio. And Don K. Reed, if you're listening, 33 years on CBS FM. I'm sorry that you were on hold a long time, but that's too long to stay at one station. Can I be really honest with you? I've never been at a station more than, I've been 8 years, the longest I ever stayed at a station. And you gotta move around. You can't be as old as the music. You've gotta, move on.
And we didn't call him. It was Ken that came in and was like, can I call this friend? Can I call this friend? He had three people call in on hold, and he was going to have this big
He thought it was the millionaire show where you have the lifelines and all that. So that's it. So that's that. And by the way, do we have the Chuck Liddell thing?
We do.
How long is that?
It is 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Now, I called him out.
We can't play it.
You won't have enough time?
We have 2 minutes of commercials, and we only have 10 minutes of show left anyway.
When are we going to run now?
Well,
What did you tell me?
I told you if we wanted to play it, we had to break at 42:30.
I've already told people I could meet them downstairs in 10 minutes. I told Bobby we could have a cocktail. We should have a quick one after the show and not see each other tonight.
We could do that. By the way, right before
What do you drink, by the way?
I'm a vodka guy or a wine guy.
I'm a vodka guy.
And I don't mind paying. As long as we have 10 minutes to kill, can I just tell you something?
Sure.
Look,
we don't have 10 minutes. We got to take a break, and then you have to finish this.
Okay.
Well, give me the headline. What is it going to be?
The headline is how much of a ripoff that Del Frisco Steakhouse is paying $17 for a goddamn
It's
martini.
delicious, though.
You know what?
$17 for a martini. I didn't know it's New York. I expect.
Wait, how much is the martini?
$17 for a martini.
Wait a second. I'm staying at a place called the Manhattan Club, which is a timeshare place.
Right.
I got a great price on the room. There's a gym. There's a breakfast in the morning and all of that.
Right.
And there's a bar, and the bar is open from 5 in the afternoon till 11, and it's over. It's upstairs, but it's a timeshare, so you get the. I go up there the other night, and I'm by myself, and the golf match is on last week.
Massive.
$14.
Yeah.
For a beer? For what?
No, for a martini, but I'm in like a hotel. I mean, it's like a private, like it's at the country club.
Right.
14. So yes, it's expensive here.
Yeah, I know that. I don't mind paying $10 for a Heineken. I don't mind paying $12. Last time I was at $12 for
But why are you bitching about 17?
Because 12 is one thing. 17 just doesn't.
It's ridiculous.
I should be able to take the glass home with you for 17. I don't want it. You should be able to have the glass.
Well, I tell you what, let's go to Del Frisco's after this.
Are you buying?
No, I'm not.
Go to Pasta Lovers.
No, we're going to sit there and wait till somebody recognizes us and then get them to buy
I'll buy you a drink.
Do you ever do that to people? I love you, and I go like this.
No, you know what?
You love me so much? Buy me around.
No, you know what?
I do it all the time. Oh, yeah, I did that in New Orleans.
Wait,
The woman said, I love you so much. I said, really? Would you suck my dick?
I got a better idea.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Jay, I got a better idea. Okay, Okay, first of all, I don't like to do that because if you do that, then people expect you to talk to them. I'd rather pay this.
No.
Why do we do this? Why do we keep drinking till one of us gets recognized? Whoever gets recognized first picks up the check. You've done a million TV shows.
I've done more shows than you, but you got some fresh shit out there. I don't have. But
you have like 400 Murphy Browns, a million movies.
Yeah, but I have a lot of episodics, but I don't look like myself anymore. I used to have an afro and everything.
You
Really?
do. My aunt recognized you on Cold Case.
Okay, we'll go out and drink.
I take that back.
First one, I was on Cold Case 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I have my Showtime special out. Nobody watches either of them.
All right, let's see who is recognized first, and then the other guy picks it up.
I think he picks it up.
Now, how are you for money? I'm a little short.
I'm really short, but I have a credit card.
All right, me too. Okay. All right. Now, did we bring Garrett with us on this?
No, I'm not paying for him.
No. No, we need a judge. We need a trope. We need a judge.
Who's buying his drinks?
Suppose somebody comes up and goes, J. Bobby, like that. Who?
No, it's a tie. J. Bobby, J. Bobby,
it's a tie.
If somebody comes up and goes, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of yours too.
What are your names?
It doesn't matter.
Wait, if they don't know your name.
No.
I know both of you. No, I know both of you, but I don't know your names.
Let's at the break. Let's decide. We'll decide.
All right, stay where you are. Bobby Slayton is here, and I'm Jay Thomas. Mediocre talents trying to be recognized. Wow, greatest bar band in the world. When I mean that, you walk in a bar. I was at a wedding where the bride sang this. I told you that, right? Man,
they could play my wedding party.
She sang.
Stones, can you imagine? Hey, Stones, want to play my wedding?
Were you ever in a band, Bobby? Were you ever?
I recorded. Nick, these are my heroes.
Yeah,
my heroes. Was having a band. I play. Yeah, you want to know what I was in a band? 12 years old. I started playing the drums. Couldn't find anybody to be in the band with me, but on the drum head, I named the band Bobby and the Termites, and I wrote it on glitter. I couldn't find any other Termites.
So it was just you.
It was me playing two Cream songs and Led Zeppelin.
You didn't have a friend that played the guitar or nothing?
And you sang?
What?
Sang and drummed?
No, I just played the drums. It was just me, Bobby and the Termites. And I had the balls to call me the head guy. Paul Revere and the Raiders, at least, Herman Service. But I was a drummer, and I was Bobby. I already took over the band, yet there was nobody else in the band. Then I decided it was my band.
Now, who were the Termites? Where were they?
I couldn't find them. My wife said, I wish I still had the drum at it. I would have given it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right. Hey, Ross, in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Yes, Ross, how are you?
It's actually Ross in B.C.
Oh, British Columbia. You know what? Excuse me one second.
Christina.
You know what, Christina? You screw people's names up. You screw the town where they are. And so I look like a... No, but I look like an idiot. I called a guy Randy. His name was Brady. No, what's the matter with you, though? You know what? Just say, is it D.C. or B as in Boise? Just do something. I mean, my God.
You could clearly hear his phone was breaking up.
Thank you, Gary.
Excuse me, Mr. Sexual Tension.
Trying to get people on air.
Mr. Sexual Tension, excuse me.
Who's banging who?
Yeah, you know what? Oh, sorry, Ross. We were out of time. What did you want to say, Ross? You have 60 seconds.
Jared is really making some good comments lately, and under the tutelage of your great guidance. And Lou, he's over there with Scotty, getting his own show going there once in a while, and Shuley. And what I'm wondering is, which one do you think's going to steal your job next time you're on vacation?
What a stupid phone call. Meaningless, uninteresting. Oh, and Garrett just pulled the microphone. He got so excited, he pulled the microphone off. Can't even talk. All right.